Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today we are doing a what you need to hear right now reading, and as always I'm going to be leaving it pretty open, so it could be about any area of your life. It could be one main big message or several smaller messages. Whatever it is that you guys need to know right now that would help you on your journey, that is what we're going to be looking at today. I'm really excited to get into it, but just before we do, I want to give a huge thank you to Babbel, who is sponsoring today's video. Babbel is one of the top language learning apps in the world, which is scientifically proven to get you speaking a new language in just 3 weeks. Its intuitive lessons are designed by real language teachers and help you learn a language through real-life conversations. As someone who loves learning languages, I've used a few different apps over the years, and Babbel is definitely my favorite. I was literally just talking to my classmate today about how much I love Babbel. There's a variety of different lesson formats, so you never get bored.
Ciao, sono Davide. E tu?
Hai un ragazzo?
Hai un ragazzo?
Mi dai il tuo numero?
Mi dai il tuo numero?
And I love the dialogues. There are tons of different dialogues to see how the language is actually used in various situations like travel, business, relationships, and more. But what really sets Babbel apart is that they're not just teaching you words and grammar, but they also teach you expressions that native speakers often use. They teach you about getting around the country. They teach you about the country's culture. We're just getting into the start of the new year, and I think that learning a new language is the perfect New Year's resolution for 2023. Io sto pensando di andare in Italia quest'anno e Babbel mi sta aiutando a prepararmi per il viaggio. I completed the main Italian language course on Babbel, which I am reviewing right now, but I'm also taking their special courses that are specifically for travel. These include phrases to get by on vacation, the basics of Italian cuisine, and even the different expressions and dialects that are used in different regions of Italy. If you guys want to start learning a new language with Babbel, you can get 60% off your subscription by using my link, which will be down below in the description as well as in the pinned comment. You'll also get a 20-day money-back guarantee, so you have some time to try it out, and I guarantee you that if you keep at it for 20 days, you will be speaking your target language. So be sure to check out the link below and let me know in the comments what language you would like to learn and why.
Io mi say grazie. Oh! Yumi, do you speak Italian?
Thank you so much to Babbel for sponsoring today's video. Thank you so much to you guys for listening to that. And now let's get on to the reading. Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So in today's pick a card reading, I want to just ask Spirit to come forward and bring any messages that we need to hear right now. So this reading is going to be very open. It could be about any area of your life or multiple areas of your life. But I really just want to let Spirit come through and give whatever messages in whatever way they see fit. So I'm not sure how this reading is going to go, but I felt very called to do this one today. And we have 4 options today. With each reading, we're going to be using a different oracle deck. As you guys might know, if I were using tarot decks here, I would show you the same card from each deck, but because oracle cards are completely different, I'm just going to be showing you a random card from each of these decks to help you pick your group. So you could be drawn to this back artwork, you could be drawn to the front artwork, or you could be drawn to the actual message on the card or the meaning of the card. There's a few different factors to help you pick, and if you are drawn to more than one group, that is totally fine. This is definitely not a reading to limit yourself to just one. If you really do feel called to multiple, there may be messages for you in multiple readings. So with that being said, let's go ahead and give you guys a close-up look at each of your options. So for option number 1, we are using the Cancerian Oracle, and your random card is Have More Fun. For option number 2, we are using the Vessel Oracle, and your random card is Light. For option number 3, we are using the Majoco Majolica Oracle, and your random card is Dream. And for option number 4, we are using the Witch's Essentials Oracle, and your random card is Astrology. So just in case you need a little bit more time to pick, these are all of your options laid out side by side so that you can compare them and see which one is calling to you the most. As always, take all the time you need to pick. You can pause the video if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and get started with number 1. Hi number ones, so if you guys chose the Cancerian Oracle deck, this is going to be a reading all about what you need to hear right now. So something interesting about this group, this video, I actually filmed this reading a while ago originally, and then finally I felt called to post it and the file for group number 1 was missing. So I checked everywhere that I backed them up, both physical and on the cloud, and group number 1, she was just nowhere to be found. So I was like, okay, we are redoing group number 1. And when I make these readings, it's my intention that the messages will reach you if they are meant to and when they are meant to. So for whatever reason, your spirit guides decided that the previously filmed messages for group number 1 perhaps no longer applied or were not relevant anymore, or you needed updated messages. And I am kind of wondering if there was some timeline shifting going on. This could be a sign for some of you out there who have been trying to jump to a different timeline or jump to a parallel universe. I have a feeling that this could be your sign. This could be your confirmation that you successfully made it, because whatever messages you were going to get before, like, we're on a completely new wavelength now. We're in a completely new energy now, and you need new messages. So that's why we're doing this group over. Anyway, let's get right into it. I'm going to do everything in the same format as before, same decks, same setup. The only thing that is different is that I do not have my nails anymore, and maybe I'm wearing different accessories, but that is irrelevant to your reading. So let's get some updated messages for group number 1. And we're gonna start with the deck that you guys chose, the Cancerian deck. What does group number 1 need to know right now? We are starting off with keep it simple, peace of mind, less is more, accept help. We have abundance, money increase, stability, wealth. Don't settle, dream big, there's more for you. Ooh, this is exciting. Okay. And one more, fall back. No need to worry. Take a break. All will work out. Okay. My group number 1s. This is a very exciting energy. And I want to say this energy is exciting for anyone, but especially for those of you who have your own business or who are dreaming to have your own business. This indicates to me it's a way of life that is coming to you. And maybe this is the new reality that you have shifted to, but the new way of life that's coming to you is that you can do less, you can relax more, and you can be just as abundant, if not more abundant. With this keep it simple here, there's almost this feeling of you're overthinking it. Whatever it is that you're trying to make happen, whatever goals you're trying to realize, you are overthinking it. Some of you guys might be, what is that expression? In analysis paralysis? Like, you are wanting to pursue a new path in your life or take the path that you are currently pursuing to the next level, but you might be kind of overwhelmed when you try to navigate how to do it. You might be stuck in that phase of planning or of researching all your options or of asking a bunch of people for advice. And this is a very important step, but it's a very big step between that one and then finally starting to take action and implement the new idea. And I think that your guides are saying that for those of you who are feeling stuck, to move into the next chapter of your life, you are overthinking it. This is just one example that is coming to my mind, and I think it's just a simple example to illustrate it, and this energy can be applied to many different situations. But let's say that someone is training for a marathon. There are ways that are more efficient to train and less efficient to train, but this person might be overwhelmed. Like, should I do more like endurance training and do longer, slower runs, or should I do more sprints, or should I do interval running, or should I run outside, or should I run on a treadmill? Should I run every day, or should I take more rest because that's better? And like, what should I be eating, and da 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 da. These are all good questions, right? They are, because they will help you perform better. But when you become obsessed with doing everything perfectly, you get yourself stuck in this place where you're not even starting. It's not healthy to worry so much about each and every of those things, because at the end of the day, you're gonna make progress if you're running. You're gonna make progress if you're training versus just sitting there and not running. So the most important thing is that you just do it. The most important thing is that you just get started. And this is not to say you shouldn't do that research or you shouldn't be curious about how to have your best performance, but there is that message from your guides of like, you're overthinking it. For those of you who are making something, whether that is art, could also be an essay, make it simple. Less is more. So, and this is something that, this is something I learned as a producer of music. I often add way too many elements and my song becomes way too busy. And I actually got this constructive criticism from my friend who currently mixes my songs, but yeah, I just put way too many parts, and then they're all competing with each other, and it's impossible to hear every element standing out because it just becomes muddled, and you often need a lot less than you think. So strip things down. Maybe you are writing a thesis, maybe you're writing an essay. You need to strip things down. Maybe you're decorating your bedroom. You don't need as many decorations as you think. Keep it simple. You're overthinking, you're adding too much. That is the vibe. You need a lot less than you think. It could even be about your fashion, your makeup. Like, you don't need as much as you think. Even with abundance, maybe some of you guys don't need as much money as you think to live your dream lifestyle. And so you're stressing yourself out so much in the pursuit of gaining more money when you don't really need it. Like, you can live that abundant life that you want now, but it's like you stress yourself out that you won't have enough. And your guides are saying you will have enough, go for it. And again, this doesn't mean don't strive for more and don't look for ways to do better, but don't wait until that moment to start living the way that you want to. I was getting a feeling for those of you who have a business that it might be time to start thinking about delegating your tasks to other people so that you can work more efficiently or so that you can rest more. So for example, if you were a YouTuber, maybe this is getting someone to make your thumbnails, getting someone to do the negotiation for your brand deals. I don't know, getting someone to edit your videos. That's the most obvious one. Oops. Getting someone to edit your videos so that you can spend more time doing the part that you really love, which is filming the content, getting your ideas out there. So kind of recruiting more people onto your team. It might be time to do that. And maybe some of you guys have held back because of fears of like money, because you have to pay people to do these things, or maybe it's a fear of relinquishing control and trusting someone else to do that work. But I think it might be time for some of you to find a trusted team. In the same way, if you are an employee in a company, I do think that there's going to be new people coming into your workplace soon. that's going to make work easier for you. So especially for those of you who are short-staffed at your work, I think that more people are coming in, and that's going to make your work easier because we have peace of mind, we have accept help, and we have all these people coming together. So the more a team grows, the easier things are going to be. And it's going to make things more efficient. It's going to allow you to be more abundant. And I think this fallback is really just, well, first of all, it's saying relax because everything is going to work out, but also reminding you that abundance is not just a monetary thing. You know, abundance is also being able to take vacations. Abundance is also not worrying and stressing about work and money all the time and stressing about productivity all the time. That's a lack mentality. When you're abundant, you can unapologetically rest. So I think it's about integrating rest and inaction into your definition of like success and abundance, or maybe just reminding yourself of that at this time. And also getting over that fear of, if I rest, I'm going to lose abundance. If I rest, I'm going to lose my progress. I was just watching a Star Girl reading recently, and she called me out of having this fear of like, if I stop working for a week, I'm going to lose everything. I'm going to lose all my progress. My career is going to die. Like, it's so irrational, but there's maybe a fear of falling off the wagon if you take a vacation, or losing control, or I could be doing something more productive right now. I could be working on my business right now. And your guides are saying no, because this rest is so important as well. And again, it doesn't mean that you won't succeed. It doesn't mean that you won't create a better life for yourself. In fact, I think a lot of you guys are creating a lifestyle that is beyond your expectations. And it's a lot easier than you thought it could be. So let's get into some tarot cards now. We are using the Lucid Dreams Tarot today, and I'm going to get some cards to clarify these messages. And I am going to be taking reversals because this deck has keywords for both the upright and reverse positions, and I want to use the feature of this deck. You know what I will say though? I don't remember much from the last reading that I filmed. The one thing that I seem to remember though is that the main theme of it was like, what you want is manifesting, but it's going to take a bit more time. So you have to wait more. You have to be patient more. It's not coming yet. That's like the one thing that I remember. And so if that's not relevant anymore, it could be that you guys recently did something to accelerate your manifestations, or you found some energetic hack to speed up your manifestations, or you removed some blockages. Okay, so for my group number ones, what cards can we get to clarify these messages? We have the King of Cups, devoted, emotionally mature and balanced, intuitive, compassionate, supportive, and empath. We have the Seven of Wands in the upright, standing your ground, boundaries, defending your position, challenge, perseverance, protectiveness, and protecting territory. Knight of Pentacles in the upright, practical, reliable, stoic, slow and steady, hardworking, committed, grounded, patient, efficient, conservative, and pragmatic. And the Ten of Swords in reverse. This is a nice card to get in the reverse. Recovery, regeneration, moving on even stronger, lessons learned, survival, painful swords falling out, healing. This is so interesting because, oh wait, that wasn't even in the reverse because I don't normally do reversals. But I was just editing a video earlier today, and you know, I often forget what I say in readings because you're just in the flow, right? And so sometimes when I'm editing videos, I'm like, oh, that's a nice interpretation. That's interesting. And in the video that I was editing today, I just happened to be talking about the Ten of Swords, and there was a message of a burnout that is also a wake-up call for you. And I feel like that fits in the context of this reading as well, because this is all about allowing yourself to slow down without that fear that it's gonna, like, you're stealing abundance from your future self. I could have been doing more productive things for my future self right now. I could have been working harder, or, you know, just in the YouTuber example, if I don't post for 2 weeks, like, everyone's gonna forget about me. Or if I don't put out a new chapter or put out a new book in my series, everyone's gonna lose interest, or something like that. I guess it's a fear of losing momentum if you slow down, or a fear of if you stop not being able to start again. And this could be something you're going through right now, or something that you've gone through in the past. But I feel that at some point this group would have gone through a burnout, constantly trying to do more, and especially do more on your own, do more without asking for help. It's almost giving me a 10 of Wands kind of vibe as well. And yeah, having an emotional burnout, mental burnout, you could have even experienced this physically, and then having that moment of realization, I can't do this anymore, because we have lessons learned, and then we have recovery, regeneration, moving on even stronger, and healing. So I'm not going to do this anymore. Also, this is Swords. This is the energy of the mind, of being in your head, with, you know, Mercury, Gemini, air here. This is very much the energy of being in your head. And there's almost this feeling of you had been in your head for so much that you forgot how to be in your body, and maybe were neglecting your body. This is something I've been noticing recently over the past weeks. When I consciously come back into my body, immediately I feel my muscles relax. Because when I'm in my head, I'm not paying attention, and my muscles get tense because I'm really focused on something, or I'm stressed about something. And as soon as I come back to my body, I'm automatically like, oh, this doesn't feel good. And I loosen up and I feel so much better. So there was like a period of being in your head too much, neglecting your physical body. Even just today, it almost made me teary-eyed, but my friend posted this story, and I think it's a poem that someone wrote, but it was something along the lines of, I said softly to my body, I want to be your friend. And my body took a long breath and said, I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. And oh my gosh, it just made me emotional, like, as someone who has really struggled to have a good relationship with my physical body. That really hit home. And your body is always waiting for you. Even that fact in itself makes me emotional, because I think I spent so many years of my life hating my body, which is such an intense word, and punishing my body. And even through all of that, it still showed up for me every single day. It still kept me alive. It still kept me healthy. It never gave up on me. Even when I was hating it and being mean to it, it still loved me unconditionally and kept me alive. No matter what, no questions asked. And it was always there waiting for me. When I would finally decide to be kind to it and embrace it and be its friend, it just welcomed me with open arms. Like, I've been waiting for this moment. Let's work together. Like, thank you, body. Anyway, getting out of your head and back into your body. I've also been seeing a lot of messages recently about, when you want to do something or when you don't want to do something, your body will tell you. But when you're in your head, sometimes you miss those cues. If you're debating about whether you really want to do something, if you check in with your body, you will know the answer. So anyway, a little bit of a tangent there, but I think we're recovering from burnout and we're learning our lesson, and that's not going to happen again. And with the Knight of Pentacles here, we're definitely taking a more slow and steady approach, because we literally have slow and steady here. Yes, we can take this rest because I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush to get to my destination. I'm not in a rush to meet any goals. Like, I will take the scenic route and I will stop whenever I feel like it. If I see something fun out the window, I will make a stop there because I'm not in any rush to get to my destination. I know that I'm going to get there someday. We also have the keyword efficient here. So I really think there's something here about getting others to help you on your journey and sort of taking some of the slack and making things less of a burden. And I can't remember if there was something else I wanted to say for this, so we are going to move on. And if I was meant to say it, it will come back. I actually want to talk about this King of Cups next, because this is the card that came out to clarify the Keep It Simple card, which talks about accepting help. So the King of Cups might indicate the energy of someone who's going to be coming in to help you. This is water sign energy, which is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And we do have the symbol of Scorpio here, so maybe it's especially Scorpio. Other zodiac signs that we have here is Mars in Leo. We have the Virgo symbol here. We have the Gemini symbol here. This is Gemini and Mercury, so a Cancer with a Gemini Mercury could also be a thing, or a Cancer with a Virgo Venus, or a Scorpio with a Virgo Venus. That's also a thing. But anyway, I think that the King of Cups represents someone who is mature, who is responsible, and someone you can really trust. It might be difficult to trust people with your work, or, I just thought of like trust people with your children. So maybe some of you guys are getting a nanny or a babysitter to make things easier for you. But it's something that's important to you. It's something that's like your baby. And you're not just going to leave that task to anybody. But I think the King of Cups is indicating someone who is mature, someone who's very experienced, because the King of Cups is the highest of the court cards. Very experienced, and you can leave it to them. You can count on them to get it done. And usually with the King of Cups, when it comes out in a situation like this, it indicates to me someone who can empathize with you a lot. So this would be someone who's in the exact same, or was in the exact same position as you at some point in their life. So, speaking of, we just spoke about the example of children. Let's say you are a single parent and you're also trying to start your own business. That is a lot. That is a lot for anyone to juggle. And so maybe you are looking for an assistant in your business, or maybe you're looking for a nanny, or maybe you're looking for a housekeeper, because like you're gonna raise children and work on your business and keep the house clean and do all the chores. Like, it's too much. It's too much for any one person. And honestly, I really feel for this group, because I think a lot of the times there can be shame in asking for help, just in general, but especially I think when children, and I think especially single moms, are involved, it's like, oh, you're getting a nanny, you should be able to do it all by yourself, or like if you don't spend every second with your children, then you're a bad parent, or there's so much crap like that. And we're gonna get into the Seven of Wands in a second, because I think there's a lot of meanings to unpack here. But I'm just thinking back to this burnout, and it's making me quite sad. And one interpretation that I have used in the past for the Ten of Swords is that each of these swords represents like someone's opinion or someone's words, because swords is also about communication. And when you take what everyone says and what everyone thinks onto yourself as a burden, it will drain you, like this person. And so, you know, there could be a lot of people, maybe either in your immediate circle or just in society, that have a lot to say about the life you're trying to live. And when you take all of that to heart, it will burn you out. I feel like a big part of your burnout was you trying to meet everyone's expectations rather than working towards your own joy. And it could be even just like the standards from social media. You see other people doing what you're trying to do and they make it look flawless. I'm using the parent example a lot. It doesn't mean that all of you guys are parents, but I think it's just an easy example to use. Like, I don't know, I don't have TikTok, but just for example, you might see a mom on TikTok who's like, a day in my life with 5 babies. And she looks like, she always looks amazing, and she's made up, and her house is super clean, and her, like, she's doing her spiritual practices, and her mental health is fantastic, or at least that's what she's portraying. And you're like, oh, okay, well, if I'm a good mom like this, then I should be able to do all of that, no problem. But like, that is clearly fabricated, and not everybody is going to have the same life. Not everybody is going to have the same mental capacity or the same physical energy or the same brain that is wired to live a life like that. And there's no shame in needing help, and there's no shame in not being able to do it all. Even, this is a different example, but I've like even felt, I don't know if shame is the right word, but I felt pressure of like, if I'm a real musician, I will do it all by myself. Like, I will do all the production and all the mixing and mastering by myself, or else like I'm not a real musician, or like I'm not really talented. And it's like, why? That's dumb. Like, if you can have people help you and lighten your load and it's gonna make your life nicer, then you should value that more than some stupid pressure you feel from your ego or from society. That is not actually going to make your life better. It's just going to stroke your ego. Your ego just wants to stroke itself. But that, even in the end, that doesn't feel good because you're exhausted at the end of it. Anyway, we're branching out quite a lot in this reading, but there's a lot of messages to unpack. I think it's really interesting that the Seven of Wands person is facing towards the King of Cups, almost seeking them out, because the Seven of Cups is a card that I would often interpret as spreading yourself too thin or trying to do too much on your own. Because this is you. You're this warrior. And all of these swords are all of these wands are coming up. There's 6 against 1. Just one person fighting off all of these 6 wands, that is not a fair battle. That is not realistic. And so the Seven of Wands person is looking to the King of Cups like, a little help here. And oh my gosh, what I wanted to finish saying about the King of Cups is that they've been exactly where you have. So in the example that this is a single parent hiring a nanny, the nanny's like, I know exactly what it's like. I have children of my own, and I struggled raising them while I was working on my business. You know, I know exactly what it feels like, so I want to help you. It's someone who, do you know what I mean? Because it's cups, there's some kind of emotional investment involved there. It's not like I'm just helping you because you're paying me. I'm just helping you because this is a transactional thing. It's like, I really feel for your struggle. I feel for your position. And even as a person, I want to support you because it would make me happy to see you succeed. I want to support you the way others supported me. So that's why you can really trust this person, because their motivations come from the heart. They have pure intentions to help you. It's not just like they want you to pay them. Well, of course they do, but that's not their motivation, or that they just want something from you. So yes, the Seven of Wands is, you know, the burning the candle at both ends, spreading yourself too thin. And it's also about fighting a good fight. So I think that as you ease yourself into this new way of being, and it makes sense with the Knight of Pentacles too, because Knight of Pentacles makes me think of a non-linear journey where we have to be very patient with ourselves. Like, there's still going to be intrusive thoughts. It's not like you go from, oh, I have a lack mentality and I have like toxic productivity and I can't relax and I can't ask for help and I feel so much pressure from society to do everything and make it look easy. You don't just like boop and then, oh, it comes so easy to me now. I will say for this group, it will probably, I don't think it will be hard because we are jumping timelines. But I think that every now and then you will have moments of weakness. You'll have intrusive thoughts. You might slip back to your old ways of thinking. And it will feel like a fight at times. It will feel non-linear at times, but that's okay. As long as you continue to give yourself grace and give yourself compassion, you will reach that healthy way of being. So let's look at some more oracle cards now. We have Cancer, I feel. 8th house, endings and beginnings. And emotions, feelings, expression, moods, and balance. There is so much water energy in this group. Cancer, water sign. 8th house is related to Scorpio, water sign. And even this oracle card, this is a chakra oracle deck, and this card is related to the sacral chakra, which is associated with the element of water. And you guys were even drawn to a water themed deck. So you guys could have a lot of water placements, or water signs are going to be very significant for you. In addition, it could be indicating that the season of summer is going to be an important time. Looking at the numbers here, 11, that could be November 16th. That's the only date that you can make out of these numbers, but November 16th could be a significant date. But yeah, all of this pertains to emotions. All of this pertains to feeling. So living a life where you are led by your emotions, where you pay attention to them as your compass. And water also makes me think of flow, just living, flowing, and slowing down and living a more leisurely life. I think that it's really important that we have this Cancer energy here. Cancer is ruled by the moon, and as we all know, the moon fluctuates. The moon has phases. And I think you guys need a reminder that you are a human. You're not a machine. You're not a robot. So you don't function the exact same way every day. Your energy levels fluctuate, your moods fluctuate, your preferences fluctuate, your motivation fluctuates. There's so many things going on, so you cannot expect yourself to show up exactly the same every day or to output exactly the same every day. Sometimes you're going to be more tired. Sometimes you're processing things in your personal life. You need to allow yourself to be more organic, to be more human, and to have cycles and to have fluctuations. If you're someone who has a monthly cycle, this will be even more so. There's going to be certain times in your cycle where you are having a lot of negative thoughts. And that doesn't mean that you've fallen off the wagon on your spiritual journey or on your journey to more positive thinking. You're going to feel tired. That doesn't mean you're falling off the wagon of your productivity. It will go up and down like this. Everybody has bad days, everybody has slow days, and they come and go. And then your great days come after. But I think, and it's easier said than done, but just getting into the habit of always checking in with yourself and how am I feeling? Do I really want to do this? And that goes back to like asking your body, because your body will tell you if you want to do it or not. Also, interestingly, the 8th house. This can talk about business partnerships, like benefiting from someone else's assets or joining assets with someone. So some of you guys are finding a partner for your work, for your business, for your creative pursuits, for your studies. Having a partner will make things easier. Maybe for some of you guys, your significant other is going to be a huge help for you, is going to take like a big burden off of you. But we also have this message of ending and beginnings. Endings and beginnings. Which could be further elaborating on the cyclical nature of your energy. But it could also be a sign that it's time for you guys to quit something. And it's specific that I'm using the word quit, because you can quit a job, you can quit smoking, you can quit sugar. It's quit something. Something that you've been thinking of quitting, your guides are saying that would be a good idea. You don't necessarily have to quit it forever, but maybe quitting it for a certain period of time will help to fix a dependency that you have on it. Maybe going on a social media detox for a month. You don't have to do it forever, but when you come back to it, you'll be more mindful. You'll be more mindful of what you consume. You'll be more mindful of how often you use it. For some of you, it could be a forever quit, but for others, it might be a quit to reset. So, for example, you quit sugar for 30 days, and during that 30 days, your taste buds reset, or your brain and body get used to the new diet. So maybe after those 30 days, you'll be like, you know what, I don't even want to eat sugar anymore. Or maybe you'll get back to it, but you will just eat less of it because you don't rely on it like that anymore. Because you really do change. You really do adapt to new habits. I used to, like some of you guys know I don't eat meat. I used to love it. I used to enjoy the smell. I used to enjoy the taste and all of that. And now it's like disgusting to me. There are some times, and it's weird because like my partner eats meat, and sometimes I see him eating meat and my brain still says like, oh, that looks good. Like I want to eat it. And I'll be like, can I try some of that? But I don't like it. It's disgusting. Like it's weird. But anyway, all of that to say, my taste buds changed. And your habits, even things that maybe now you think I could never let go of that, I could never quit that. Like I could never quit my coffee. I have like 8 cups of coffee a day. You might be surprised how your body adapts after that initial withdrawal and the discomfort. You might actually get used to it, and you might even find that your energy levels are better. That's a big thing with sugar. Like the burst of energy and the crash is so real. I struggle with that for a long time. But you think like, oh, I need it for my energy. But then once you take it easy on the sugar, you're like, your energy levels balance out again because you're not having all those crashes. So yeah, for some of you guys, it's a reset that you have to go through. I will say the 8th house and the sacral chakra can reference like sex or sexuality. So maybe some of you are going to be celibate for a while. And that's kind of gonna, I don't know if that's a reset, but just to focus on other things, whatever your reasons are. That's a very personal choice. Or if we are talking about walking away from something, maybe there is like a friends with benefits situation that we're walking away from because it's not emotionally fulfilling. But yeah, even this emotions card, it's like embracing the full spectrum of your emotions and embracing the fluctuations. Okay, so we're gonna look at a few more oracle cards. Okay, this way. Universal oneness. We are all in this together. Consciousness is flowing without separation. We act as one. And we have astral plane. You have the ability to experience and gather insight from the earth, cosmos, and beyond. And inner peace. Angelic guardians surround you. You are being held in harmony and divine grace. You know what's cool? I feel like these two cards go together because this is you transcending the illusion of separation and remembering that we all act as one. And then this is you have the ability to experience and gather insight from the earth, cosmos, and beyond. So it's like literally you here as a human on this earth and the beings out there in the cosmos, in space, in the higher dimensions and beyond, you are connected to them right now at all times. And I want to tell you guys that you have access to any, like in any given moment, you have access to any energy, any experience, any knowledge that you want to gain access to. You need only tap into it. With astral plane as well, this is making me think of astral travel, astral projection, dream work. I think another thing that your guides want you to know is that you might want to start the practice of, I don't know if there's a word for this, but I guess intentional dreaming, where like you set an intention before entering into the dream state of, you know, I want to dream about this. I want to, like, if there's someone who you can't talk to in the 3D, whether they're like not in the 3D anymore or you're in a 3D separation, to set that intention before you enter your dream state of, I want to speak to this person, or I want answers regarding blah, 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 or I would like to see my past life. I would like to see my spirit guide. I would like to see from the perspective of a lamb. Whatever, like, you have access to all points of view because they are all you. All points of view, all experiences, all knowledge. So it's like your guides want you to try this because it might be a gift that you don't know you have or that you haven't really developed. But yeah, it's like intentional dreaming. So, because it's like, I want to say lucid dreaming, but it's like setting the intention beforehand to have that experience. I guess intentional lucid dreaming. But yeah, you can find the answers in your dream. You can invite other beings to meet you in the astral plane and gather insights from them. And speaking of who you can talk to, we have angelic guardians here. So I think that there are some angels who are wanting to meet you in the astral realm, who are wanting to meet you in your dream state so that they can bring messages to you, that you can physically see them and hear them speak to you or receive telepathic guidance from them. Okay, so 2 more decks that we're going to use for this reading. We have, and this is actually the fallback deck by the same creator. All of these decks are in the description, by the way. Okay, let's move into our closing messages. What does group number 1 need to know? Self-love equals self-discipline. Keep your word to yourself. Fall in love with how you feel when you are taking care of you. I am safe in my arms. I care for myself like no one else. Okay, so there's recurring themes of taking good care of yourself and knowing that you are safe. We have communicate honestly and directly. Don't assume, set your boundaries. Remember, it's okay to just say no, meaning that you don't need to explain why it's a no. You don't need to justify it. And this is really important when you're saying no. You have to be clear that you're saying no because you don't want to do something. Because, like, let's say John, this hypothetical person, John, is asking you to hang out. And you don't want to hang out with John because you don't like the way, you don't get a good vibe from him, you know? Like, maybe this is someone you met one time and John's like, hey, like, I really enjoyed talking to you. I think we should meet up again. If you say to John, oh, I can't, that doesn't work for me. I can't go because I have to babysit my sister's cat. Then John's gonna be like, oh, okay, well, how about next weekend then? And like, if you don't explicitly say it's because you don't want to, then you will just keep getting like, okay, how's this? Okay, how's this? And then like you keep having to make excuses of why you can't. So just to nip that all in the bud, like, say your true reason right away. Or just say no. Just say like, I'm gonna pass, John. You don't have to explain why. You don't. You don't have to say why. No is a full sentence. All right. Next, be where you are. Every situation has its gift. To move forward, we must first honor where we are. For now, where you are is where you need to be. So the final deck that we're going to use for your reading is the tea leaf cards. I'm just going to take a chunk of them. Woo. We have Broken Bridge, unsuccessful outcome to a problem. So Broken Bridge does make me think of a connection coming to an end, kind of like a burned bridge. You're cutting ties with someone. So we did have that message of endings and beginnings. So yeah, some of you guys, there is a connection that you have to release, that you have to walk away from. If any of you have a connection where you're like, should I wait or move on? This is a clear move on. Especially those who are in like a situationship or a friends with benefits situation, or like a physical relationship that's not becoming any deeper. I think this is an indication that it's time to move on from it. And it's interesting too that we're getting this card right after we spoke about saying no. Once a bridge is broken, you cannot cross it anymore. So I think your guides want you to get into the practice of saying a no that doesn't leave any room for, like, it doesn't leave the door open for that person. You know, like, say a clear, flat out no, like, we're not doing this anymore. So like, you know, in the case of the person whose energy drains you, you don't like hanging out with them because they're so draining. If you just keep like making excuses or like saying why you, oh, I can't because da 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 da, like it's just gonna drag on forever because they'll keep coming around thinking like, oh, they just didn't want to hang out now, but you know, in the future I can, or like, or if you, I don't know, they keep inviting you out to drink and then you make some excuse of like, oh, it's because I don't drink. They'll be like, okay, then we can go out for a coffee. We can do something else. You have to just be like, look, John, it's not gonna happen. Like, I think you guys get the picture. What else does group number 1 need to know? Interesting, we have a mule. Someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change, so that's probably why you have to be very clear with your boundaries, because someone is being stubborn. And we have pin with new job and career. So some of you guys are moving into a new job, or you are moving into a new phase within your career, within your business. And I like that the pin is on a cushion because it's like things are getting more cushy for you. Things are getting more comfortable for you. So we have 2 more cards. We have Ant, work, achievement, and success. Love that I love that combination: new job, work, achievement, and success. And there is something that I want to mention with this ant. You know, ants can carry many times more their body weight. They can carry a huge load. And I think that this is you. You guys do have the ability to take on a lot and to carry a lot. But just because you can, it doesn't mean you have to. Just because you can, it doesn't mean you should. I've been kind of reflecting on this myself when I made the choice to go back to school. It's been a lot. Balancing everything has been a lot. And I feel like when I made the decision, I don't regret my decision, but I feel like I focused so much on, can I balance school and work and my social life and my alone time? Like, can I balance it? Can I make it work? When I should have been focusing more on, do I want to do that? Do I want to balance everything? Is that going to feel good? Is that going to be peaceful? Like, just because you can do something, it doesn't mean you want to or have to or should. So, and it sucks because, like, when you show that you're an ant, when you show how capable you are of carrying these burdens, people tend to dump them on you. And I feel like, is this my reading? I feel like I can relate to you guys so much. Even with this broken bridge of like leaving a connection, I had to end a significant relationship in my life because I just felt like I was, for lack of a better word, I was being dumped on all the time. Just like trauma dumping and dumping negativity. And one of the things that the person said was like, oh, it's just that like you give such amazing advice and you always know what to say. I didn't realize it was affecting you. You know, I don't know. It's like, maybe it has to do with the fact that I'm like a tarot reader and I'm spiritual and maybe I have insights and maybe I have advice, but like, just because I can be that person, it doesn't mean that it's good for me or that I should have to do that all the time. Like, your ability to carry something, the strength that you have to carry something does not equate to you should be utilizing that all the time. Hopefully, you don't have to use your strength that much. It should be like an emergency measure. You know, I have this strength for a rainy day if a storm comes my way, but this is not the baseline that I should be operating from in my day-to-day life. I should not be an ant that is carrying a freaking pickup truck on their back day in and day out. Being able to do something is not synonymous with it being good for you or being natural for you. So anyway, easier job, cushier job, easier life. That's the message for this group. Also, like, maybe someone who's being stubborn and who drains you is your aunt. And I think Americans say aunt, or maybe it depends where you're from, but I'm from Canada and I say aunt. Okay, and then finally, we have frying pan with trouble and accusations. So yeah, when you start setting healthier boundaries, one thing that you need to come to peace with is that the same way it's your right to establish your boundaries, it's also everyone else's right to react to those boundaries however they react to them. If someone reacts negatively to your boundary, that doesn't mean that your boundary is wrong. It just means that they personally don't like it. And that is their problem. And then it's their choice to decide how they want to move forward. And I think with this frying pan card, your guides are kind of giving you a heads up of you will have to be okay with being the bad guy to some people. You know, even if you did nothing wrong, there's some people who are just very selfish. So when you deprive them of your energy that they feel entitled to, they will see you as the bad guy. And you have to be okay with people thinking that, and I don't know, whatever they might say, but at the end of the day, you have to feel good with your actions. You have to feel good with the choices you make. And as long as you do, then let them let them think whatever they want. This message might be for like one of you, a couple of you, but I feel like I do have to say it, is that you could be dealing with someone, especially if this is a romantic or a sexual interest, you could be dealing with someone who's kind of insecure. And when you set boundaries, they will take it as a rejection and it will hurt their ego. And then they might like talk some crap about you or like make something up about why it didn't work out in a way that makes them look good, because they don't want the story to be that they were rejected, if that makes sense. Some of you are dealing with a kind of insecure person like that. Man, these tea leaf cards, I love that they're honest. There's a lot of good cards and there's a lot of bummer cards in this deck, but maybe I shouldn't use them at the very end because I feel like sometimes when I take them out at the very end, like the reading ends on a bummer note, but it is what you need to hear. It is the messages that came through for you today. And I am going to end your reading here, group number 1. So thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. If you enjoy my content and you'd like to find me elsewhere, you can find me on Instagram. I post pick a card readings there as well. You can find me on Patreon, where we have dozens of exclusive pick a card readings, plus 2 new ones every month, and you guys get to pick the topic for those. You can find me on my music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, you can do so over on my music channel. And then finally, we have merch at kinotarot.com, which features the floating temple that's at the start of these videos, and we have that on hoodies, sweatshirts, mugs, and tote bags. So all of that stuff that I just mentioned is going to be linked down below for you in the description as well as in the pinned comment. Thank you so much for supporting me and for supporting my channel. It truly means the world to me, and I'm sending you guys so much love, and much love to all of your loved ones, both on Earth and in the 5D. Much love to all your spirit guides, to your guardian angels, to any animal friends you may have, to your whole spiritual team. And it was really fun. I'm happy I got to revisit this reading and revisit this energy. And I'm really happy to see that, you know, the messages had to be updated for this group, and it looks like things are going to get easier. Things are going to get softer. Things are going to get more gentle. So yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much. Sending lots of love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hi number 2s, so if you guys chose the Vessel Oracle, this is going to be a reading all about what you need to hear right now from Spirit. So we're going to start off by shuffling and pulling a few cards from this deck, and then we're going to pull a few tarot cards as well to clarify or further elaborate on the messages that come out with the Oracle cards, and then we are going to finish off the reading with even more Oracle cards that I have pre-shuffled to get you all of the messages that you need to hear today. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, my group number 2s. What do my group number 2s need to hear right now? Okay, we're starting off with connect. Then we have make. Trust. And I just saw 111, like right when I pulled out that card, the camera timer was at 111. And then we have anxiety. Okay, so there was a message coming out pretty clearly right from the get-go when I saw this connect card. I feel like there is someone in your life whom, how do I say this sentence? There is someone in your life whom your higher selves are desiring and craving to connect closer in the 3D. Also, I just looked up and the camera timer is at 147. I know that that's not like a repeating angel number, but this number for me specifically indicates to me that the person I'm reading for, what they desire is also in alignment with what their soul desires. It's also in alignment with their destiny. And so when I'm, you know, channeling that energy and I'm holding up a card that's about a connection, what we could be looking at here is like a fated connection of sorts, or a soul connection that is being brought to your attention. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but I do think that it is like a soul family connection, but it could be a friend, it could be a family member. But what I'm seeing here is like these people have kind of turned their backs on each other in some way. Whether there is a physical separation right now, or that doesn't even have to be the case, because these two bodies are very close together. They just have their backs turned to each other. So this could very well be someone whom you see every day or you talk to frequently. It's just that when it comes to saying what is really in your heart, or when it comes to expressing that desire or that craving, the way that it's coming through, the craving of being closer on a soul level, that's where you're kind of turning your back, so to speak. You're not being upfront, you're not being truthful. Another vibe that I get from this card is like maybe there was some kind of argument, some conflict that went down here, and one or both, but probably both parties have a little bit of a prideful energy going on, where it's like they want this all to be over. They want to kiss and make up, or hug and make up, and be in each other's lives and continue to get closer. But it's either pride, or it could also be fear of the feelings not being reciprocated, of wanting the other person to initiate. But in short, what I'm seeing here is like, on the surface, you would think these people have their backs turned to each other, but on a soul level, or when you look into what's really in their heart, they're really wanting closeness. They're really wanting connection. It's like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen a picture of this, or maybe seen it in real life, but there's this statue of like these two adults who have their backs turned to each other, and I think their arms might be folded, kind of like a I'm not talking to you energy. And then inside them you can see their inner children almost like trying to like reach out to each other, because like the inner children don't have pride, or the inner children don't have fear, and they just want connection. But when we become adults, we have ego, we have fear, we have pride that stops us from acting on how we truly feel. So there's something like that going on here, where these two souls really, really want to connect, but the humans are not following suit. With all of the eyes on this card, there's a couple different ways that I can interpret it. The first one that came to my mind, which is really lovely, is that this connection is highly protected. Like you have a lot of spirit guides watching over you. But it could also be indicating like interference in the 3D, in the sense that like a lot of people are watching this connection, or a lot of people feel invested in this connection. I know they're eyes, but it could be showing nosy people. I'm sorry, that was a dumb joke, but like people who are kind of checking in or watching or being nosy in the connection. Or maybe it's one person in this connection that has a lot of eyes on them, and that makes things difficult. But I guess what Spirit wants you to know is that what you are desiring here is in alignment with what your soul wants, yes, and it's also in alignment with what the other soul wants, what the other party wants, and with what your spirit guides are trying to facilitate. So there's a connection that wants to get a lot closer here. And I just noticed, does it say love on their arms? It kind of looks like that. Is it gonna focus? It kind of looks like the word love is written on the arms here. Also, the green outline of the eyes. Green is related to the heart chakra, so this could also be a message from spirit to like see things from a place of love, or to see with your heart, so to speak, rather than just seeing with your physical eyes, because this is definitely a situation where your physical eyes, or what it appears to be going on the surface, would deceive you, because people are being quiet when they don't want to be quiet, or people are walking away when they don't want to walk away, is kind of the feeling that I'm getting here. With make, okay, yeah, there's a lot of interpretations coming through for each card, so this reading might get kind of long. In general, this could be a message from spirit to make something, especially to be creative, to start that project that you've been thinking of, to do things with your hands, whether this is like a professional dream of yours that spirit is encouraging you to pursue, or if it's like a healthy outlet for your emotions. Making things or being creative could be a good outlet for your emotions. It could also be a way to calm your mind so that you can see things with your heart. So downloads and intuitive hits might come through when you are kind of, it's like busying your mind and kind of like shutting off the chatter of your mind, because you're so focused on the creative process, or you're so focused on making this thing. So like when you're songwriting, when you're knitting, when you're cooking, when you're playing an instrument, when you're doing these kinds of things, I feel like it's a good way to relieve stress, but it's also a good way to stop that like internal chatter of your mind, so that you can get the intuitive hits that you need to make sense of the situation, or to know what the next steps are. Also, the stars are making me think of an innate talent for some reason. So spirit could be affirming to you that what you like to do as a hobby, or what you're pursuing more seriously, it is an innate gift. And even that number 147, like what you naturally like and what you naturally want, it is so in alignment with your soul. I feel like this is really a group that is manifesting the right things, that is pursuing the right things, that is desiring, or did I say pursuing already? Anyway, pursuing and trying to manifest the right things. And when I say the right things, I just mean the things that will truly make your soul happy. I feel like you guys do have a very good idea of that, and maybe that's something that you need to know. Maybe that's something that some of you guys out there were doubting, like, I really want to manifest this connection, or manifest, being successful with what I'm doing, but is that really in alignment with my destiny? Is that really what my soul wants? Which I do want to clarify that you can manifest things even if it's not like what your soul originally planned. But for this group, I am seeing that what you're after in this life is very much your soul's plan. It is very much your destiny. Like, you're kind of right on the money with that. So yeah, I do think spirit is encouraging you to make something, to be creative in some way, whether it's just for a hobby, whether it's a more serious professional pursuit, or whether it's just to calm your mind and to get more in touch with your intuition. I think that's very important, especially like doing things with your hands. A very specific message, but this could also be a confirmation for some of you to like go ahead and treat yourself to a manicure. Or conversely, if you always have your nails done, this could be a message from spirit to give your nails a break, because they can get quite damaged if you're constantly doing your nails, which is why I've switched to press-ons indefinitely. But yeah, and then the other thing that I see from this, because we have hands coming from like two different sides, so it gives me the feeling of collaboration, like two parties coming together. They're both putting in their hands, they're both putting in their efforts to make something. So, going back to what we've interpreted with the connection, it's kind of saying like it takes two to make this connection. And I think that it's like this connection can't work unless both people are willing to turn around and face each other and extend their love and their feelings for each other. And of course, we cannot control what the other person will do, but we can control what we will do. And I feel like spirit is encouraging this group. It's like, rather than waiting out of fear or even like freezing out of pride, I think this is an encouragement to lay all of your cards on the table. Because if we need both sides working together, like this is the side of the equation that you can control. And I think no matter the outcome, it would bring you peace knowing that you did everything you could, that you were very upfront with this person, that you spoke your truth, that you spoke your feelings. And I think this is about trusting that you'll be reciprocated. To me, this is like the hearts of, this may be a romantic thing for many of you. It really doesn't have to be, but the pink and the green, it's like the feminine aspect of the heart and the masculine aspect of a heart. So it's like trusting that those will come together, that both parties or that both counterparts will be able to see from their heart and to speak from their heart, and like trust that everything's going to be okay. What would you say or what would you do if you knew that everything was going to be okay? If you knew that what you were desiring so much was in alignment with what your soul and what spirit and what everyone wants for you, what is in alignment with your greatest happiness. And I feel like it is likely anxiety that is holding both parties back. And it's interesting that both of these came out. You know, they are contradicting messages. So it could be that one person is in a more trusting energy and one person is in a more anxious energy. But I also think that one person can easily switch between these two energies. Some days you feel really trusting, you feel like everything is going to be okay, and other days you feel very scared and you feel very stuck and you don't know what to do. I feel like that's just part of being human, right? We have good days and we have bad days. We have days where we feel more connected to spirit and other days where we feel doubtful, and there's nothing to be ashamed of there. But it's important that at the end of the day, the trust, I don't think outwins is a word, wins over. The trust wins over the anxiety. And I think this contrast is so interesting, how like in the trust card, the arms are free. And in the anxiety card, like the hands are tied. It's this illusion. This is giving me 8 of Swords energy. It's this illusion of like, I can't do anything in this situation. I feel like the most important thing here is to free yourself. So that means to say what it is that you really want to say. And like to allow this situation to stop living in your head. I think that just laying everything out, laying on all your cards on the table will bring a lot of peace in the situation. And I think that the response will be like better than you expect. It will bring you peace. It will bring you relief. That's what I'm really getting. But it's almost like whether you go into it with trust or whether you go into it with fear could change the outcome. Like if you were to have a conversation, have a heart-to-heart with this person, if you go into that conversation with fear, you could actually say something different than if you went into the conversation with trust. Like your wording would be very different, or even the contents of what you're saying could be very different. Because with anxiety, you could be omitting things, you could be like twisting things to avoid vulnerability, to avoid pain. Whereas if you're trusting, it's like you would just be so authentic and you would be thorough. Like it's like you wouldn't leave anything out. You would just free flow. With that being said, it would be important to make sure that you're more so in this mindset. So not to force yourself to come forward when you're in this energy, but rather to take inspired action when you're feeling trustful, when you really feel in that flow, like everything is going to be okay. but look how many hands, look how many eyes you have watching over you, and look how many hands you have trying to make things work. This shows a lot of divine support, and this shows that you can ask them for courage and you can ask them for guidance. I think you have a lot of spirit guides, and I think you have a lot of angelic protection in this situation as well. And there's a feeling of like reconciliation, a feeling of making up. For many, I do think it is a romantic situation, but I'm also getting like family, like a family member that maybe things went sour with them, like some choice words were exchanged and we want to come back and say like, I didn't mean that stuff. Friendships, I'm getting a bit less. Of course, it can be any connection, but like I think romantic is coming out like as the most common, and then like family is a close second. So let's take a look at our tarot now to clarify these messages. We're going to be using the Lucid Dreams Tarot, and I am going to take reversals. Okay, this is like a totally different interpretation is coming out now. Where, you know, we spoke about there's like a message for you guys to make the things you want to make or create the things you want to create. And there's a message for like creators where it's like you want to connect more with your community, with fellow creators. Maybe you want to collaborate or just like share advice, but you're worried that like you don't belong in this community, or that you're not good enough to like play an active role in this community yet. Like, maybe you're a musician and you're like, I want to, you know, be more in music spaces and like in music communities, and I want to collaborate, but you're like, you feel shy because maybe you feel that like others in the community are better than you, finger quotes, that you're not good enough yet to join the community, and so that's holding you back. Like the anxiety is handcuffing you, and that's also Eight of Swords. That's also Eight of Swords vibes, although that was maybe an important slip. Ace of Swords, like communication is coming in for you very, very soon from somebody. But yeah, that would also be like you're holding yourself back from your own limiting belief that you won't belong in this community, that you won't do well, that you're not ready for it. Whereas like this is asking you to just trust and connect with others and make something together. This may even be like a confirmation that it's safe for you to open up about your mental struggles, because there's a lot of people, more than you know, who have been through the same struggles as you, or who struggle just like you, and who want to support you. Okay, let's finally take a look at these tarot cards. Okay, so, oh my gosh, I'm so used to like flipping them over, but I have to remember that I'm taking reversals today. So we have the Seven of Wands in reverse: exhaustion, giving up, overwhelmed, weak boundaries, quitting, giving up, admitting defeat, yielding, and surrender. So in the interpretation of like a personal connection, some of you guys maybe have given up on this connection, or you're considering giving up on it, because the Seven of Wands, it sometimes gives me 10 of Wands vibes, where it's like one person is working too hard, one person is doing all the work. We see this person here and she's holding her one wand, and it's like she has to fight off all of these 6 wands on her own. So there may have been like issues in this connection, but they weren't a big deal to you, or I should say you were willing to work through them. But maybe it felt like the other person wasn't, and you're like, I cannot solve, like it takes 2 to solve the issues of a connection, and I can't do this all by myself. So maybe you guys have like given up or walked away, or you're considering to do that. And honestly, if it is draining you, I think that there's nothing wrong with like dropping that weight and stepping back from the connection, because it really just might not be time. But I also think like for those of you who are making, creating things, who are pursuing goals, if you're experiencing burnout, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling a lack of inspiration or motivation, or just a lack of like hope for prospects for the future, I think connecting with like-minded people and really like establishing yourself within the community could help a lot, because you could get advice, you could have people relate to you, which even sometimes just knowing that you're not alone helps, because I think struggles are compounded when you feel like this struggle shouldn't be happening. But if you can recognize it as a very real part of the process and recognize that there's nothing wrong with you for having these struggles, I feel like that relieves already in itself like a huge part of the struggle. And then even people in the community could help you like with your work. They could collaborate with you. They could take some of that burden off of your shoulders by giving you a helping hand. I kind of want to be careful with this message, but for any of you guys who like resonate with being on the twin flame journey, I know that there's a lot of struggles, or there can be a lot of struggles. That's why I want to be careful. Like, I don't want to put into people's heads that like the journey has to be difficult. But I know that there can be struggles with it. And maybe like finding that sort of community could be helpful. Like knowing that you're not alone in that journey. I also want to be careful with that, because if things are difficult, we don't have to force ourselves to go through that to be in a connection. But I mean, use your discernment to claim that message. Like finding a community of people who are going through similar spiritual experiences or similar connections could be helpful to you. Woo, okay. I feel like, oh, okay. Whoa, this has only happened to me like 2 or 3 times when I'm reading, but it's like my ears feel plugged and I feel really light. Like I feel like I'm a balloon and it feels like my head is hollow and like my words are echoing. I don't know what it means, but it's literally only happened like 2 or 3 times when I'm reading. Woo! Okay. What else do we have? We have the King of Wands in the upright for make. And oh my gosh, look what it says on it. Natural born leader. So we spoke about with this make card, you guys having an innate talent, a talent that is from your soul, a talent that is part of your destiny. And I love that we have this word natural born here. Like the things that you guys are good at, the things that you're passionate about, it's what you are meant to do. Like your soul literally gave you this gift of having this talent. And you know, King, this is the most mature, the most developed of the court cards. So this is a skill that you guys have been really honing and really perfecting over many lifetimes, and that you're meant to, I feel like in this lifetime, whoa, it's like you're the king now, so you're meant to start helping to cultivate the next generation of people who have this talent. And it's so ironic that like this would be the group to worry if they're good enough to belong in this space or to be a part of this community, because you're literally like one of the leading talents. You're someone who has cultivated this talent for the longest, and the only difference between you and people who are like doing this for a living, or it's just confidence. The King of Wands is all about finding your confidence. So like, I don't know, I'll just use tarot reading as an example. You might really, and that's something you do with your hands too. You might really enjoy reading tarot cards, but you're like, I don't know if I'm ready to like be an active member in the spiritual community yet. I don't know if I'm knowledgeable enough, or I don't know if I'm good enough at it, or whatever it might be. And Spirit is saying it's so funny that you would feel that way, because you're actually like naturally the best of the best. You're like naturally so good at it, and actually you're here to like help inspire the new generation, or to help teach the new generation. So it's like you're helping to activate, to inspire, and to teach the next wave of gifted tarot readers on this earth, or whatever skill it is for you. But that's so freaking cool. This is like, give yourself permission to know that you're the top dog and to have that confidence. Like this says, be bold, be daring. I also feel like you guys, Spirit is letting you know that you guys are extremely charming. You're very attractive, you're very likable, like you have a very good personality. And Spirit wants you to get comfortable with showing your personality more. Meaning that you would be very welcomed and very accepted and very celebrated into any community that you wanted to enter into, any space, any room that you wanted to enter into. And whatever it is that you guys are doing, or whatever it is that you guys are making, it's like Spirit is maybe encouraging you to show your face more, or to be the face of it more, or to like put yourself in the forefront more, because we actually, both of these cards have the Leo symbol on it, and that's all about like being the star and being the main character. So just again, using the hypothetical example of like a tarot reader, this would be Spirit encouraging you to like, you know, maybe not just do readings on Instagram where nobody can tell who you are, but like make videos where people can feel your personality. Let people feel your personality and feel your essence, because it's very uplifting. You have a very sunny nature about you that lifts people's spirits, and you're very charming, you're funny, you're very attractive, even going so far to like show your face in the videos or something like that. Or like if you have a business where you do sessions with people, like to do, if you can do it safely, like to do in-person sessions, or to like show your face, do a video call instead of just a phone call. Like put your face out more, show your personality more. That's going to lead to your success. Or like if you're a creative person, to like do performances more, or to do like exhibitions more. It's like really step out more, I think, is what Spirit's trying to say with this King of Wands. Okay, so next we have, oh my gosh, we have the Nine of Pentacles in the upright. Abundance, luxury, self-sufficiency, self-worth, financial independence, leisure, rewarded efforts, success, and achievements. Oh my gosh. So I just have to say, both the King of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles for me are indicators of like someone who is self-employed, someone who's doing their own thing. So that could definitely be a confirmation for those of you who have been considering going that route, or you are going that route, and this is like your sign that it's the right way for you. Also, we have Venus in Virgo here, so maybe someone's like a Leo with a Venus in Virgo. But yeah, I think that cultivating your innate talents and also living an abundant life, it's like part of your life purpose, and it's not something that you need to feel guilty about, is a message that is coming through. Like putting yourself in the spotlight and enjoying the payoff, enjoying the luxuries of life, enjoying abundance, that's something that you should allow yourself to experience unapologetically. But with the Nine of Pentacles clarifying the trust card, I feel like this is really the key, whether you fall in the camp of like, I'm trying to get closer to someone in this specific connection and I'm trying to tell them how I feel, or like I'm trying to join this community, I'm trying to join this space. I think the key to being able to like be confident enough to do that, or to have the courage to do that, is knowing that you will be okay either way, because the Nine of Pentacles is self-sufficient, she's independent, she's that girl, gender neutral, and no matter what, she's gonna take care of herself and she's gonna live her best life. I think this anxiety comes from the idea of like, if this goes well, then I'll be good, then I'll be secure, then I'll be happy, and if this doesn't go well, then I'm doomed, or like, what am I gonna do? So like in terms of this connection, I think it's really important to know that whether you like end up with this person or not, you're still gonna be fine. You're still gonna be you. You're still gonna live an amazing life. Or like whether this community accepts you or not, like you're gonna be fine. Whether people comment positive things or negative things or whatever it is, like maybe there's too much importance being placed on that, and Spirit wants you to know that no matter what happens, this abundance and this happiness is secured for you. And I think like putting that pressure on a connection or on any one specific thing to be like the thing that makes or breaks that, that's definitely going to create a lot of anxiety. So maybe like we're taking things too seriously, or we're putting someone on a pedestal, or just in general, like putting people's opinions and feelings towards us on a pedestal. Whereas the 9 of Pentacles lady, she's just like, I don't care. I'm just going to live my best life. I'm just going to do me. I'm going to do what makes me happy. And I'm going to take good care of myself no matter what. Because I can and I will. And King of Wands too. He's very empowered. Okay, and then, that's so interesting. To clarify the anxiety card, we have the Ace of Swords in reverse, and we have the keywords confusion, stress, miscommunication, mental blocks, rethinking an idea, poor judgment, dishonesty, hostility, arguments, destruction. I mean, that makes a lot of sense because anxiety can cause miscommunications and misunderstandings and confusions. It causes us to perceive things in a kind of skewed way. It definitely blocks our mental clarity. It definitely blocks our intuition. And it can be destructive. We have air sign energy here. It could also cause arguments from like misunderstandings and miscommunications. And I think anxiety can make you irritable. It doesn't make me irritable, but that is one of the symptoms. Or maybe it does. I don't know. But maybe there was like a misunderstanding or a miscommunication in this connection. And that's why communication is so important. Like, especially if you're in separation, one or both of you could just be off doing your own thing, and your head is full of these like misunderstandings about the situation. Like you have an idea of the other person's feelings or intentions that's completely wrong, but because neither of you are like reaching out to rectify that or to clarify that, these assumptions are only growing stronger and only like further fueling the anxiety. And I got this feeling at the beginning, but it's like the truth of the situation is a lot more forgiving. It's a lot more gentle than what your anxiety would have you believe. But if you can't have an open conversation, like you'll never know these truths. And you could be making some assumptions about each other that like paint each other or paint this connection in a very bleak light, in a very dark light. The truth is a lot more of a relief. The truth is a lot gentler than the assumptions, and not the other way around. It's like a misunderstanding. It's a miscommunication. This stress is not necessary, or it's not based on truths. Interesting. Like some air needs to be cleared. We need to clear the air. We need to get straight with each other, or like get right with each other, I mean. And also, I had that slip earlier in the reading where I said Ace of Swords by mistake when I meant to say Eight of Swords. You could be so, and I think I mentioned there communication was coming. So maybe some of you guys are like it's like you're so worried about receiving bad news, or you're so worried about this communication not coming. But like it absolutely is. Okay, let's take a look at some more oracle cards. So we're gonna start with the Black Moon Astrology cards. We have second house with owning. Yeah, so there's even more messages of like, it's like financial abundance is your birthright, or it's definitely a part of what your soul wanted to experience in this lifetime. I feel like the Nine of Pentacles and the second house are talking about you guys experiencing that kind of material abundance in this lifetime. But with this card coming out next to anxiety, this could also be spirit warning you guys about, I think like retail therapy would be the right way to put it, or like increasing your possessions to make you feel more secure, or like having a lack mentality where you feel like you need to increase your material possessions to increase your worth. And money and material possessions are something that is meant for you to enjoy in this lifetime. It's not meant to control you. It's not meant to control you. It's not meant to determine your worth. You are not working for it. It is here as a tool to lead to your enjoyment and to your pleasure. So it's like, this is our birthright and this is what we're meant to experience, but we might have to like unlearn some things surrounding money and surrounding material abundance. I feel like there's some in this group who it's like they might tie their worth to like how much material gain they can produce, or like worries surrounding money really control them. For others, I feel like the blockage is that there's some guilt surrounding accumulating a lot of money that needs to be worked through. Like, we need to be able to enjoy it unapologetically and also to enjoy it without fear. And then, wow, we also have Aquarius with I know. And if we put these together, it's like owning what you know. I feel like this group's intuition is very strong, and like, you know more than you give yourself credit for. And it's time for you to really own that. There's things that like, if you were to speak up about what you feel and what you know, you would get this confirmation like immediately. You would be able to put your anxieties to rest immediately. But it's like you don't have confidence of what has been shown to you, or you don't have confidence of what you're feeling intuitively. And so these worries continue, or these negative assumptions continue. But it's like, the second you let your intuition come forward and say like, this is how I'm feeling, it's like all of your worries would be addressed. This is about like owning what you know intuitively and giving it a place in the physical world, because this second house is about material things. It's about owning your truth. It's about trusting your truth. Okay, and what do we have from action? Interesting. And this card is related to the root chakra. So it's like feeling secure enough to take action, feeling comfortable enough to take action. Movement, perseverance, discipline, and motivation. I also love that we have the number 3 on this card. Oh wow, we have the number 3 on this card, which is a sign of abundance. 26 reduces to 8, which is a sign of abundance. 23 reduces to 5, which is a sign of change. So you guys are definitely gearing up for abundance and expansion in your life, but it's like you have to trust your inner knowing and own that and act on it. Because I feel like this is so reading like the 8 of Swords. It's like you're holding yourself back out of this fear. You're convincing yourself that you don't really know the things that you know. I think you know deep down that if you go for what you want, it is going to go well, because you've seen it, you've been shown it, you feel it intuitively, but anxiety convinces you otherwise. Like, if you took action, your intuition would only be proven right, and your anxiety would only be proven wrong. So I think it's kind of time to ask yourselves like what you're so afraid of, especially knowing that you're going to be fine and you're going to be so abundant no matter what the outcome is. The outcome of this situation is not a make or break for you. And again, that's your anxiety convincing you that it is. So you guys got 4 cards from this deck, so you do have 1 extra, We have self-awareness. Let go of your egoic attachments. Your evolution comes with release. So it's definitely your ego that's holding you back. And it's like pride. I don't know. It's like a fear. Maybe it's a fear of embarrassing yourself, or a fear of like looking dumb, or a fear of being wrong, or a fear of rejection, which is all things that like your ego is afraid of. And I think that's like why it's hard to really own and to really trust what you see intuitively, because there's that voice of your ego that's like, yeah, but what if you're wrong? What if you're wrong about all of that? And it's like, you don't want to be, and when I say you don't want to be dumb, that's also like your ego talking. I think that releasing these fears for you guys is so necessary. I feel like everything you want is on the other side of these fears. And we have enlightened. The knowledge you seek is seeking you. And we have I know. There are no distorted versions of reality. This is so important. Like, I definitely sound like a broken record, but it's really time to own your truth and to believe in your truth. We have downloads. Oh my gosh. Open your senses to receive. Activations are inbound. Let white light flow through you to open your channel further. I just want to flip this over because that's the energy that I want in this reading. This energy, breakthrough, truth, new insights, new ideas, vision, focus, mental clarity, success. You have been receiving hella downloads, and it's not even that you're missing them. It's just that you need to like give them more weight, or acknowledge them, or believe in them. Yeah, you're very enlightened on the situation. You're activated. And then your extra card is the human experience. Understand that you grow through what you go through. So everything that you're going through, I think it's really important to remember that like the universe doesn't just put us through stuff for no reason. And everything, both the good and the bad, both the moments of joy and the moments of suffering, everything is there to help us grow, and everything is there for a very specific, a very explicit reason. These lessons are vital in the expansion of your soul in order to ascend. So this is the reminder that everything is happening for you. And I can't help but notice this is the number 16, which is reminding me of the Tower. It's reminding me of the Tower in tarot. So basically Tower moments are like things that fall apart or things that fall away. It can feel very sudden, and it can feel very jarring, and it leaves us kind of like afraid of what happens next, because it kind of removes the stability and the predictability from our life. Like something suddenly coming to an end, something suddenly falling apart, and it just really shakes things up. So maybe you guys have been through a Tower moment, or you are going through one, and this is Spirit's way of letting you know that this is supposed to be happening, and this is helping you grow, and this is happening for you. And it's also important to note that when Tower moments do happen, it's because the Tower was built on a shaky foundation. So you won't have a Tower moment of something that was meant to be in your life. It's like things that are not serving you anymore, things that are unstable, things that are not contributing to your growth. They will be removed, sometimes roughly, or sometimes it's just not time to have that Tower yet. And also I should mention that if we look at the numbers here with like enlightened and downloads, these are number 10 cards. This is the number of the Wheel of Fortune. So like downloads are coming for this group. Divine intervention is coming for this group. You might be seeing signs and synchronicities like crazy at this time, and it's really, really important to acknowledge them. And then number 6 is a number of lovers. The lovers. So relationships are like a big focus for this group. Again, whether that's like a personal connection with someone else or a community, there is a focus on like fated relationships and Tower moments that will redirect you to these fated relationships. Okay, so there are a couple more decks that I want to use to finish off this reading. So from the fallback deck, we have allow. Let it all flow to you. Allow others to lead. Let go of control and expectations. Trust what is yours will always find you. And then we have protection. Thank God for unanswered prayers. Rejection and setbacks are blessings in disguise. The universe knows best. And then we have everything is always working out for me, and believe. Believe in yourself, believe in your dreams. What you believe is what you will create. You can do anything. And I feel like these are meant to stay together. These are really nice together. And then I also want to pull some cards from the tea leaf deck. We have tent, temporary situation. Frying pan, trouble, accusation. So if I put this together, it's like any trouble that you're going through right now is temporary, and especially any conflict that you're going through right now is temporary. And then we have bow, you are highly thought of. You see, it's like there's some inauthenticity here out of like fear or pride or the workings of the ego, because you're actually very loved, respected, highly thought of. But on the surface, it's like these people are turning their backs towards each other when they really just want to like hold each other and apologize and like cry. But they're just like, even this person has their back turned. But the truth is that this person thinks really, really highly of you. And then we have cup with you should accept valid criticism. So I feel like there were things that needed to be like talked through in this connection. There were things, like I said, the air needed to be cleared. We needed to work through issues together. But I think it was like, maybe the wording got out of hand. Maybe like with this frying pan, maybe things got too heated and maybe there were misunderstandings. Someone's like sensitive spot was hit and then some words were exchanged that we didn't really mean. And like, it's like maybe you had concerns that you wanted to voice, but there was like a better way of going about it and things kind of blew up. And then we have moon at the bottom with changes in your life. And yeah, with this finger, like I'm not looking at the message, but beware of great pride. Yeah, I feel like maybe pride caused people to like point fingers. Whereas here, when we let go of our egoic attachments, this is when we see that we're truly just reflections of each other, that we're truly just mirroring each other. So I don't know, maybe someone got triggered because they saw like traits of themselves reflected back to them that made them uncomfortable. But we're learning to overcome this. We're learning to get out of this situation. And I love this card because it's like, look, we mirror each other. We're in this together. Let me give you a helping hand. I feel like this is the energy that you're moving towards. So this became kind of messy because we took so many extra cards, but group number 2, these are all the messages I have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very, very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And you can also follow me on Instagram. I post weekly readings there as well as new moon and full moon readings. And I also have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song. So if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 2s, I'm sending you guys so much love. Lots of love to your spiritual team as well. And any counterpart or community that you guys may be with, thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye! Hi, number 3s. So if you guys chose the Majoco Majolica Oracle deck, this is going to be your reading all about what you need to hear right now from Spirit. So we're going to start off the reading by shuffling and pulling a few cards from this oracle deck that you guys chose. Then we are going to pull tarot cards to further elaborate or to clarify the messages, and then we will finish off with even more oracle cards that I've pre-shuffled to get you all of the messages that you need to hear today. So with that being said, let's get right into it. Okay, my group number 3s. What do group number 3s need to hear right now? Okay, so this card says like can't move or stuck. I don't see this card very often. And then we have encounter or meeting. Woo! We have dream. Oh, wow. Okay. And then, okay, we have 2 coming out at the same time. We have stuck in a swamp and a time for learning. Okay, so it's coming out pretty clearly for my group number 3s that you may be feeling kind of stuck where you're at in life, because we have this card that says like I can't move, and we have this card that says you're stuck in a swamp. So it definitely feels like those of you who were drawn to this group are going through some sort of period of stagnancy right now, where it's either like the efforts that you're putting in might not be bearing fruit, or you can't even find like your spark or your inspiration or your direction. With this black sky, it just seems like things might be feeling bleak right now. And honestly, sometimes when I see this energy in a reading, I feel called to advise the person like, it's okay, you're just going through your winter season. Like, this is happening because you're meant to slow down and you're meant to take this time to rest and reflect and recharge before you move on to your spring season. But I honestly feel for this group that energy is kind of getting stale. Like, I feel like you've been through that phase. You've tried to embrace the slowness. You've taken time to rest and heal and be introspective. But it feels like this new beginning or things being set into motion is overdue. And I actually want to affirm that to you guys. Like, it does feel there is something that's meant to be set in motion, but that it's like long overdue, and the energy is getting stale or stagnant because of some delays that have happened, or like some obstacles that you've come across. It's like, yeah, it's like either you're trying to get things moving and it's not working, or you can't find the motivation, you can't find the spark to do so, or like you don't even know what direction to move in. But right next to this, we have like this meeting and encounter card, and this makes me think of a fated encounter. And I think it's interesting how we have that continuation of like this little girl with the short purple hair and the horns. I feel like this is representing you with the horns. Maybe some of you guys are like Aries or Capricorn or Taurus too. Bulls have horns, yeah. But I feel like there's some fated encounter that is about to happen for you that is going to get you stuck out of this rut. So like something, it's like your spirit guides have heard your calls for help. They're like, oh my gosh, group number 3 is stuck in a swamp. They're stuck in a stagnant situation right now. We need to get the energy moving. We need like a new beginning or new excitement in their life. You're ready for a new adventure, like, and you're ready for movement, and you're ready for something to spice up your life. And I feel like spirit has heard you and is coming to bring some fated encounter into your life to get the balls rolling again. So I am sort of getting the feeling that this will be a fated encounter with a person, and this person is here to like introduce you to the right people, or this person is here to directly bring you some kind of opportunity or offer, or this person is here to be an example. Like, you see what they're doing, you see what they're all about, and that inspires you to start the new chapter of your life. And I also do feel for many, this will be someone that you meet in person, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. This could be someone that you see like on the internet, like you see what they're doing through social media and you're like, wow, that's really cool, I want to do that. Or you're like, wow, this person is giving amazing advice, that's exactly what I need to be doing right now. But whatever the case may be, Spirit is going to align you with people who have the answers that you need, or they can offer you what you need. Like they have the knowledge, the support, the connections, whatever it might be. So this is definitely a time to just keep yourself open to new encounters. What's kind of interesting with this dream card, it does come after the encounter card. So after you meet this person or after you're exposed to this person, you might have a dream to confirm it. So like the day you meet them or the day you like find their profile or whatever it is, you might have a dream to like confirm that this is the person who's here to get you out of your rut. Like this is the fated encounter that's coming to put an end to this stagnant energy. But for some of you, you might have dreams about it like before it happens, even though this is coming out like in the next position. But dreams will definitely confirm to you, which is nice, because it means that well, I have a feeling that you'll feel pretty strongly about this encounter and you'll know what it's about, because even looking at this, like changing from the black sky to the orange yellow sky, this gives a feeling of like darkness, of nothingness, and this is like passion, excitement, inspiration. So I think just from how you feel after this encounter, you'll probably have a very good idea that like this is the fated encounter that marks the new chapter of your life. But just in case you were second guessing, then you're definitely having dreams to confirm it. And I also think that this card is talking about waking dreams. Like this encounter introduces you to a dream of yours. Like I feel like this person is here to introduce to you something that you're very passionate about. They will either introduce you to a new thing you didn't know you were passionate about, or like they're bringing you the knowledge of how you can move forward. Just know that help is coming. This is the message that's coming through very strongly. Help is coming for you. And then also with these next two cards, being stuck in a swamp and a time for learning, these are definitely reiterating previous messages, because you are learning how to get out of this funk. You're learning how to get out of this rut. This could also be like if you guys are seeking help from a mentor, from a counselor, from a therapist, like to get out of your mental funk, then this is Spirit commending you for that decision. Or if you're not doing this yet, this could be encouragement, like to seek help, because here we have this person who is stuck, and this person, I feel like they're going to use this to like cut them out of the swamp, or give it to them. Like they're giving them the tools to help themselves. I feel like investing in like learning more about your mental health, or like self-help content, things like that, could be really beneficial for you. So Spirit is either like commending you for those pursuits, or encouraging or confirming to you that that would be like a good way to go, because I feel like you could learn in the future like how to proactively prevent yourself from getting in these funks again, or what can you do when you start to feel the early signs of like, oh no, I'm entering a period of low energy, of low motivation, of low spark. How can I prevent that from happening? And when it does happen, because that's just life and it's inevitably going to happen sometimes, what's going to help me to feel normal again? What's going to help me to feel like myself again? So I feel like this is the beginning of you guys being introduced to the knowledge that you need and the tools that you need to take better care of yourself, to keep yourself high energy, to keep yourself motivated, to keep yourself inspired, like to keep yourself in a good place mentally. And at the same time, we're also seeing like an introduction of a new passion for you, or getting clarity on the next steps of something you've been pouring effort into. So it looks like the next chapter for you is a very fruitful one, where you're really going to start to see your efforts reaping rewards, and you're also going to start to feel more in control of your mindset, in control of your mental state. Life is definitely unpredictable, and we can't control everything that happens, but we can take steps to better control our reactions and how we deal with things. And I feel like this is what you guys are really mastering here. And I just feel like your spirit guides are so proud of you right now. So with that, let's get into some tarot to clarify these messages. So I have been pulling these tarot cards as clarifiers. So like I'll pull a row underneath and it will clarify the oracle card that's above it. And I've also been taking reversals because these cards have keywords depending on how the card comes out. And actually I just need to drink water. That was a big drink. Okay. Let's get into it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there's definitely an emphasis that, oh, that's really sweet. There's definitely an emphasis that this is happening when you least expect it. And while Spirit has been watching you and commending you for doing everything that you can to take care of yourself, to be in a positive mindset, and to put efforts into the things that you want to achieve, Spirit wants you to know that you're not alone. And that's kind of why this encounter is being orchestrated. Well, it's also to like bring you inspiration, bring you answers, bring you assistance, but Spirit wants you to know that you're not alone. Another thing, when you're having dreams about whoever this is, they might not necessarily appear as they look in real life, but you'll just know from the energy that it's them. I'm sure you guys, I feel like this is a common thing in dreams where you're like, I had a dream about my mom, but like it was actually a fox, but I just knew it was my mom. Or like my mom looked like Selena Gomez, but it was my mom. So it could be something like that. Okay, are these bears? These are so cute. This deck is really, really cute. And I'm really sad because there's like other editions of this deck, but it's out of stock, like always. I don't know if it's discontinued or what, but there's other ones and I can't seem to find them. But this was the first Japanese deck that I ever got. Okay, my group number 3s. When I put these cards back, like when they come out together, I usually keep it like this, but maybe this card wants to kind of stand on its own and wants to have its own clarifier. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. To clarify, I can't move. We have the Knight of Swords in reverse, which is like the card of fast motion in reverse. Rash, forceful, bully, vicious, unfocused, ruthless, arrogant, restless, impulsive, tactless, rude, aggressive. Okay, so this is definitely, first of all, I want you guys to know that if you've been feeling down for a long time, or if you've been feeling stuck, it's not your fault. It's really important for you guys to know that. And Spirit is saying that your situation has been exacerbated, because it's like, not only are you in a funk, but then it's like you get upset at yourself for being in a funk, and then that makes it worse. It's like you're being hard on yourself, but that is also not your fault. I feel like some of you guys even have, it's like other people are trying to rush you, or they're not being understanding of your situation, and then that's making it worse. So this is just an example. Let's say someone is in between jobs, or like they've had to take time off work because of physical or mental health issues, whatever it might be. And it's like they might be feeling guilty that they're not recovering fast enough, which is really sad. But then it doesn't help if you have other people around you, like, when are you going to get back to work? Like, are you still taking time off? And it's like, they might not be outwardly, well, maybe they are outwardly judging. I'm just seeing like bully, vicious, ruthless. Like maybe some of you guys have dealt with kind of rude comments about the situation that you're in, or like, I don't understand why you're so slow, or like, I don't understand why you're so down. Like, what's the big deal? Why are you even, you know, like if you're struggling with your mental health, or if you just can't find your spark or can't find your inspiration, it's enough that you have to be hard on yourself, and it's enough that you have to be like upset about that within yourself. And I feel like for some of you guys, it's just been like exacerbated by other people's comments or other people's expectations. And I think Spirit just really wants you to know that it's not your fault. Like, that's all I'm really getting from this card, is to just know that it's not your fault and that you're not alone. Everybody at some point in their life is going to go through a phase like this where things just aren't working out for them, or they're stuck in an in-between, or they're lacking motivation. And everybody is going to experience different intensities of emotions when they're in this phase. Some people will get out of it quickly, others it will take longer. And just because, like, everyone's journey is different. And just because someone got out of it faster and like was able to recover, or was able to, you know, get their life moving again, like, good for you, but that doesn't mean that you get to judge someone who's taking longer. So I just feel like someone, or maybe multiple people, I really hope not, but maybe they haven't been the most understanding, and this is actually making me feel quite sad, and I really, really hope that this is like only for a few of you out there. Maybe when this rut started, people were like understanding, but then it's like, oh, well, I didn't know it was going to be like this for this long. And it's like, shit, you think I'm not frustrated about this as well? Like, you have to watch someone turn from compassionate about your situation and like, I'll be here for you, we'll get through this, to like, you're still in this rut. And it's like, okay, I don't know, it feels like conditional, I guess. It's just, I think it's just a sad thing to watch that transition. But everyone's journey is different. Everyone will go through something like this in their life, and it's just like, it's really sad that someone would judge. And if this is you, if that person that I'm describing is you, Spirit definitely is wishing that you would be more kind to yourself. I want to take this one because it did come out face up. Oh yeah, that makes sense. To clarify the fated encounter, we have the Six of Wands, success, public recognition. I don't know if this originally came out in the upright, but I want to take it in the upright. Achievement, self-confidence, victory, award, triumph, praise, acclaim, pride, and reward. So success is assured for you guys. New beginning is assured for you guys. And this is someone who feels really confident and really like good about themselves. And I think we're seeing here, it's like you're reaching a really healthy place. The number 6 makes me think of health. Healthy in your mind, healthy in your body, healthy in your emotions. You really feel like you're becoming the best you. So I want you to know that brighter days are ahead. And I think that's really illustrated with the ray of sunshine coming through from the sky here. But with this card coming out to clarify the fated encounter, this is definitely going to be someone that you really look up to and someone you really admire. And they could be someone who has a bit of a following. This card came out for a different group. I think it was group 1. But you guys might know, and this is just like the meaning of the card, but I often think of this as, you know, someone who is famous, or at the very least popular. Like they have some sort of following, and they're you know, they're admired, especially in this card, because these don't just look like followers. It looks like an audience. It looks like a crowd that is watching them and cheering them on. So for some of you guys, this might be, you know, discovering a celebrity or a content creator or an artist who really inspires you and like reminds you what you're passionate about, or introduces you to the new passion and what you want to do next. Maybe you watch a documentary or an interview of this person and their passion and their story, their experiences that they speak about hold some important answers for you. If you guys have artists or some kind of public figure that you really, really look up to, I would recommend reading up about them, about their story, their journey to success, or just watching their interviews or like documentary if they have one, because there could be some really, really valuable answers in there. I feel that a lot of the time, well, I don't know. Sometimes I just get the feeling that people who are public figures and people who are celebrities, they might have some mission for their soul to activate others. And so the stuff that they put out there, I feel like it has trinkets of wisdom to activate people, to help people out of tough times. And I feel like if there's someone you look up to, or maybe this is someone new that you're gonna discover soon, that you're really, really gonna vibe with, just reading up about their story, their interviews, the things that they talk about, something in there could help to inspire you, some gem, some nugget in there. But yeah, some of you might meet them in person. At the very least, if this is not a public figure, I feel like it's someone you really would look up to and feel like they've really got their life together. And with this person being all in red, that might be significant. They could be, this is really weird, but I just heard like they could have the same blood type as you. I don't know why that's relevant. It's kind of like a thing in Japan and maybe other countries to know people's blood type, and it matches with their, what is it called? It like determines their personality and stuff. My blood type is O, by the way. But yeah, it could also be that they might have red hair, whether it's natural or dyed, or maybe they dress in red, or maybe red just means that you're passionate about them. But I thought I would mention that. Okay, so to clarify, okay, this was in reverse. To clarify the dream card, we have the Page of Cups in reverse. Doubting intuition, creative blocks, emotional immaturity, escapism, insecurity, and neglecting your inner child. Wow. So doubting intuition is the one that really stands out the most for me in this situation, because I do feel like dreams will be shown to you in the case that you're doubting your intuition. Your guides will show you these dreams to help bring you confirmation. And I think it's interesting also that we have, doubting intuition and insecurity and creative blocks, which I'm also reading as intuitive blocks. I think that dreams I feel like they're a good place to bring messages when we struggle with intuition, because when we're dreaming, it's like that analytical part of our mind is kind of turned off. And something about it makes me feel like we're more receptive to messages when we're dreaming. So your spirit guides might bring you, your spirit guides and spirit in general communicate to you in your dreams more than you realize. With this message of emotional immaturity, I feel like, when we say something's immature, it's like it hasn't fully developed yet. So I feel like you guys you're still in the early stages, I think, of recognizing the ways in which spirit communicates to you in your dreams, and how rife, how full, I think rife is the word, like full of something. If I'm wrong, that's really awkward, but how full your dreams are of very important symbolism and messages. I feel like you recognize it a little bit, but the page is the least developed of the court cards. It's like you're still just in the early stages of really unpacking it. Maybe it's a matter of still, dismissing things that you see, or maybe it's a matter of being able to remember your dreams. which I've heard that writing down your dreams after you wake up can help with that. But just the power that you have in dreams, I think you're still very like in the early stages of developing that. Some of you guys might be very, you could end up very skilled at lucid dreaming, at doing dream travel, of meeting people or meeting beings in the dream realm and like having very lucid conversations and then waking up and remembering all of the messages. You can do a lot of cool stuff in your dream world. You could see into the future. You could see into the past, whether that's the past of this lifetime or a past life situation. You can ask to see certain things or to get certain answers in your dream. You can ask to speak with a certain being before you go to sleep and then meet them in your dream. You can have lucid dreams, which is like, I've had them in both ways, where it's either like I can control what I do within the dream world, or I can actually control what is happening in the world around me too. There's a lot of really cool things you can do, and I feel like you're just kind of scratching the surface of that. But and with escapism, maybe some of you guys have been escaping to your dream world, or maybe sleeping a lot when you've been in this funk, especially if the 3D life you're currently in hasn't been inspiring. I can see how you'd want to like go off into your dream world. But I think this is more so speaking about your abilities that you've yet to unlock. Okay, so to clarify, stuck in the swamp, we have the Page of Pentacles, manifestation, grounded, ambitious, offering a gift, goal-orientated, financial opportunity, planner, consistent, loyal, faithful, and messenger. Wow. So I actually do think that whatever this encounter is, you will eventually get some kind of offer or some kind of message with messenger. You'll get some kind of offering from this person, some kind of financial opportunity from them, or a message from them. And consistent, loyal, and faithful. This is really nice too, because this is an indicator of like a long-term connection that you will have. So it's not just like spirit is bringing in some random person to inspire you, to get you out of your funk, and then you're never going to have anything to do with them again. Spirit is saying this person is actually going to be a constant in your life. And with the page, again, the page being the youngest person, that means there's potential for this to grow more and more and more. And this also tells me this is someone with whom you share similar interests, similar talents. So it's no surprise that you would be inspired by them and look up to them. And yeah, there's going to be some opportunity to work together. Like this is a solid offer. This is a long-term offer. So I definitely think what's going to get you out of this stagnant situation is something related to like a career pursuit, or like learning a new skill or starting a new project. The Page of Pentacles gives that kind of vibe. It indicates good news in financial matters and like, or in education or in developing skills. And you guys get an extra card. Wow, to clarify time of learning, we have the Chariot in the upright. We have Cancer energy here, Leo energy with the Six of Wands, Gemini on the Knight of Swords. And then I also felt like Aries, Taurus, and Capricorn could be relevant because of the horns. But let's see what keywords we have on the Chariot. Action, success, movement forwards, control, willpower, determination, and two opposing forces working towards a goal. Interesting. I feel like this is like the two of you, the white horse and the black horse, moving the Chariot forward. I don't know if I see it as opposing forces, but rather complementary forces, because the white and black horse makes me think of, yin and yang. Two energies that complement each other very, very well. It could be opposite in the sense of, sometimes we'll see like there's a masculine and a feminine, or there's a more introverted one and a more extroverted one. There's I don't know, you're in the same field, but you have different strengths and different skill sets. So your differences complement each other, but you help each other move faster. If there was only one horse pulling this chariot, they would be having one heck of a time getting that chariot to move. But when we have two horses, it keeps the balance of the chariot and it will move forward steadily. And it actually looks like this chariot's going to take flight because the horses are flying. There may be, in this new chapter of their life, of your life, there may be some kind of relocation that's happening. You could be moving, or there might be a significant trip that you go on that really inspires you and that really rekindles your flame. Like, you might need to get out of your physical environment and kind of have a change of pace because, you know, the chariot, of course, talks about movement, and the Cancer energy is making me think of like the home. So there might be a need to get out of your home, you know, get out of your current physical environment, or find your home away from home, so to speak. But yeah, I feel like this really confirms some offer coming from them or some collaboration coming from them. And so it's not just that their role is to have this one fated encounter with you, activate you, and leave. Like, they're going to be a constant in your life because you're going to be working on something together. So this is like business partner vibes, collaborator vibes, or employee-employer type of vibes, or friends who end up working together type of vibes. And even more so exciting if this is someone that you look up to. That's really awesome. But yeah, I think it's safe to say that this funk and this period of stagnation is coming to an end. And I also just heard like someone can eat their words. Maybe it's this person who's, you know, if someone was, what is it called? Like, is dogpiling the word? When you're just like dumping shit on someone or giving someone a hard time, like there's this moment of success and triumph that is coming in your future where like, and I hope this is not the case, but anyone who ever doubted your abilities or like told you couldn't do it or that you're not going to be successful, they will see who is laughing now is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, we took a lot of extra cards, so I'm not sure how everything is going to fit, but we can make it work. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at the next oracle cards here. So we have the third house with messages. So yeah, that's making me think of the dreams. You're definitely getting some strong messages in your dreams. And we have the number 27 here, which reduces to 9. This is a number that makes me think of ascension and spiritual mastery. I think that you can communicate with some very powerful beings, or maybe you have been. Some of you guys have been working with a deity, or there is a deity that is trying to get your attention right now. Ooh, and we have Gemini with I think. So we have 2 indicators of Gemini and third house energy. And we have the number 15, which reduces to 6. Ooh, and like 9 and 6. Some of you guys might be like 1996 born. In which case I think, well, I don't know when you're watching this, but you would maybe be almost 27. So that might be an important age for some of you guys. And I feel like that came out in a reading that I filmed recently as well, which is kind of weird, but, or maybe it's not. Maybe it's a sign for someone. What was I saying? Oh, 9 and 6, they're like numbers that reflect each other, numbers that mirror each other. So that's kind of giving me the vibes of this white and black horse. I should have said this before, but some of you guys like going to school or entering back into some kind of education could be what gets you out of this rut. But while 9 makes me think of spiritual mastery and ascension, it also makes me think of healing. And the number 6 makes me think of health and balance and peace. So I feel like there's major healing that is going on here. And I think I can say with quite a bit of confidence that whatever tough time you guys are in right now, I mean, obviously there's going to be tough times in your life again, but I don't think it would get to this point again. I feel like the worst is behind you, and I really, really feel like brighter days are to come because you are getting the knowledge that you need to cultivate and to maintain your healthier, positive mindset, like we spoke about earlier, that you can prevent these times from happening again, or when they do, it won't be as bad, it won't last as long. Like your mentality is becoming stronger. I also think that just communicating is really important at this time with this double Gemini, double third house message. And that goes back to you guys not being alone. There could definitely be people that you can and can't talk to about your struggles, and that's not something to be taken personally. If someone cannot like hold the space or does not have the empathy to put themselves in your shoes, that says more about them than it does about you. I think finding the right people to communicate with and finding the right people to seek help from is really important for this group. So like we were speaking about earlier in the reading, some of you guys might find comfort, or it might be helpful to you to speak to a therapist, or maybe there's friends that you can go to, or there's a community that you can share what you're going through with. Because I feel like, honestly, us humans, we tend to go through the same experiences. And even if an experience feels very lonely and isolating and alienating, I guarantee there's a bunch of people who are going through the same thing. And sometimes just knowing that your experience is normal and it's human and you're not alone, that can help so much, rather than feeling like you're weird or there's something wrong with you for feeling how you feel or for going through the tough times that you're going through. I guarantee you're not alone. Ooh, and then we have music with the number 33. So music might be very, very important to you guys. You could be a musician. This fated encounter person could be a musician, or music could be very healing for you guys. But that's pretty straightforward. And this card is related to, wow, this card is related to the throat chakra. So we have communication, throat chakra. That's so funny. Yeah, speaking up is really important for this group. Yeah, not being afraid to speak about what you want as well. And asking for help. You know, the universe might bring you in contact with people who can help you, but it might be up to you to voice what you need help with. So, you know, let's say you are this musician and you meet this fellow, oh my gosh, is this a cello? A fellow cello player? I think it's a cello. Anyway, feel free to make fun of me in the comments if I'm wrong, but maybe you like love this cello player and you really want to collaborate with them. And so the universe can bring you into the same place, or the universe can make you meet each other, but maybe it's up to you to communicate to that cello player, like, I would love to work with you, or like, you know, I don't know why I gave you that weird voice, but you know, to plant that seed, to put that out there. And I just saw 3838, which reduces to 1111. 38 could be an important age as well as 33, if you are coming up to those ages. Okay, so let's take a look. We're doing pretty okay in terms of, there we go. Then you can't. Okay. Integrate. What you seek has been given. Rest to process these upgrades. Wow. So I feel like what Spirit has planned for you, that seed has already been planted, and it will happen when you least expect it. And I feel like when messages like this come out, I feel like there's no action required on your part that you wouldn't do anyway. So as long as you just do what feels natural to you, you will run into this because it's fated, right? It's going to happen. And then we have 34. So like maybe a lot of you guys are in your 30s, 34, 33, 38. Now we have 41 with light codes. Energetic frequencies are flowing to your system and activating what it must at this time. This to me feels like physical healing. The healing or the upgrading of your physical body. So you could have upgrades in health, upgrades in physical energy, subjective upgrades to your appearance. So you finding like more favorable about your look. That was a really grammatically incorrect sentence, but we're just gonna go past that. And human experience. And this came out for group 2 as well. Understand that you grow through what you go through. These lessons are vital in the expansion of your soul in order to ascend. So you've been through this phase for a reason. You've been through this tough time for a reason, but now you're also going to come out of it for a reason, because it's time for you to thrive. It's time to get this chariot giddy-upping and yee-hawing and hitting the road. Yes. So to finish off the reading, I want to take some cards from the Fallback Oracle deck and also the Tea Leaf deck. Let me just get that out too. Okay. So from the Fallback deck, return to self. Oh, come home to you. Like you're going to start feeling like yourself again. Give to yourself, be your own first priority. It's time to fall in love with you. I think also something that's really important, assuming that you look up to this person that's part of the fated encounter, they're just reflecting back to you the beauty and the qualities that are already within you. So if you fall in love with them and what they're all about and what they're doing, you're just falling in love with yourself, because you have all those same amazing qualities. Oh, I didn't even notice this one had fallen over on the table. Appreciate all you have. Let go of how you think your life should be and celebrate all that it is. Needing nothing attracts everything. I feel like within this, and this message comes through sometimes because I feel like for dreamers and for creatives, it's something that we need to remember, that you don't need all of this fancy stuff to make something good, or to, you know, or to get started on doing what you love. And I just mean, like, you don't need fancy equipment and a bunch of connections. It definitely helps, but you don't need it, because when you have the soul and when you have the drive and when you have the talent, that will shine through. It's like, would you rather listen to a tarot reader who has all this fancy aesthetic and the best camera and a million different decks and shiny crystals, but whose readings suck and they have no soul? Or would you rather listen to someone who's just like filming on their phone in their room, and maybe they just have one deck, maybe they have homemade cards, but the messages are hitting? Maybe the visual and audio quality is not the best, but they're speaking from their soul and they're incredibly wise and they're incredibly captivating. I feel like the vast majority of us will pick that which has soul. I feel like some of you guys needed to hear this if you're feeling insecure about like the resources available to you, or like the technical level that you're at, or whatever it is. Your soul is what's most important. Even though that's not the exact meaning of the card, just something about needing nothing that really stood out to me. Okay, trust the wait. Wow. Just when the caterpillar thought her life was over, she began to fly. Wow. Embrace the uncertainty. When nothing is certain, anything is possible. You are transforming. Oh, I never noticed that there's butterflies on this card. Oh my gosh. They all the ones with butterflies have butterflies on them. Let's put that here too. I feel like that's important. Trust your intuition. Trust yourself. Your intuition is powerful. Nothing can replace your internal compass. So let's also pull some tea leaf cards for you guys. Ooh, so we have a month coming out, and we have July. I don't know when you're going to be watching this, at least when this is being filmed. July is not anytime soon, but actually this is probably going to be up quite a bit after I film it. So maybe July is coming up, or someone could be born in July, or someone you met in July could be significant. Or that could just be like, even if this is literally 11 months away when you're watching this, that could be a month where you're really reaching your peak. We have peace and harmony and romance is in the air, and these came out at the same time. I feel like music is important for this group, because like wind chimes, you know, wind chimes are kind of like an instrument. And I think let's get, yeah, one more. Ah, well, family wishes will come true. And actually I lied because I want to show you guys the bottom energy that says plenty of material things. Yes. Wow. And interestingly, seek out the information that will help you. I feel like that kind of fits with that advice of, it's like studying up on someone's success story, or like watching a lot of content of them to get inspired and to like see their passion, or to learn the tricks of the trade or whatever. Yeah, your inspiration is out there. You will be activated. You'll get out of this, or maybe you're already like coming out of it. But I really feel for this group, like a spark is coming back. A big spark is coming back. I was just mindlessly shuffling the deck, and then this came out at the bottom. You will receive a gift. So yes, group number 3, those are all the messages I have for you. So I'm going to end your reading here. Thank you very much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you're watching, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And you can also follow me on Instagram, where I post weekly pick a card readings, as well as new moon and full moon readings. And I have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song. So if you are interested in listening to the full version of that song, or any of my other ones, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 3, I'm sending you guys so much love, and much love to your spiritual team as well. Once again, thank you so much for being here. I truly appreciate your support, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye. Hi number 4s, so if you guys chose the Witch's Essentials Oracle, this is going to be a reading all about what you need to hear right now from Spirit. So we're going to start off by pulling a few cards from this deck, and then we are going to pull some tarot cards to elaborate and clarify the messages that come out from this deck, and then we're going to finish off the reading with some more pre-shuffled oracle cards to get you guys all the messages that you need to hear today. So without further ado, let's get into your chosen deck. Okay, my group number 4s. What do my group number 4s need to hear right now? Okay, so the first card that we have is Holy Guardian Angel with the number 11. I did want to point something out. I don't know if you guys could see the deck when I was shuffling. I just saw 111, by the way. So we have the number 11 here, and then we have 111 on the camera timer. A few times before this card came out, it looked like a card was gonna fall out, but then it didn't, almost as if it was like, should I come out? And then at the last minute it didn't. And then even when this card fell out, it seemed kind of shy. I don't know how to explain it, but the card just felt shy coming out. So right away, I feel like what we're going to see in this reading is that there is a very, very loving spirit that is watching over you right now. But they're either, for some reason, I don't know if it's that they're shy to come forward, or maybe you're shy to come forward and speak to this spirit guide, or it seems like you guys haven't really figured out the best way to communicate with each other yet. Or it could just be that this guide's energy is very subtle, because I can't imagine, I don't know, I can't imagine a loving spirit guide being like shy to come forward, unless it could be a child or something like that. But it could also be you that has this reluctant energy. Maybe you have some doubts, or maybe it feels kind of strange to like speak to a being who is not like in a physical form. But it's like you guys are longing to connect with each other, but it's still a little bit new, and maybe it's a little bit awkward, and we're figuring out what's the best way to go about it. But right away, I feel this guide loves you so much and is pretty much around you all the time, and is helping you realize the dreams and goals that are important to you. Okay, we also have third eye. So, wow. I feel like with some practice, you would be able to not only communicate with this guide, but you would actually be able to see them, to see a visual of what they look like, or even to hear them. It does seem like their energy is quite subtle right now, so you might just kind of feel them as a presence, sort of intuitively feel that they are there. But I feel like as you develop your connection, you'll start to receive a lot more specific and concrete messages from them. And this is Neptune, so Piscean energy could be significant. But Neptune is also, well, first of all, it's related to Pisces, which could be speaking to your psychic gifts, which could be speaking to your intuition. But this reminds me of the Moon card, which is like illusion, doubt, worry. Neptune can also talk about illusion. So maybe you've kind of felt this guide around, but you're doubting if they're really there. Maybe it's just wishful thinking. Maybe it's just coincidences. It seems like they're still in the process of making themselves known to you and establishing that, like, yes, I'm really here and I'm going to help you. And pretty soon you will be able to see them. Oh, we have protection. So that's very, very straightforward. For some of you, this could be like an animal. I'm kind of getting the feeling that for some, this could be a deceased loved one, whether they're human or not. This could also be, if that's the case with protection, this could be them letting you know that they are safe where they are. They're protected. They're not in harm's way. You don't need to worry about them. But I also definitely think this is a sign that they are protecting you. It's funny, like when a subtle message comes through and I don't say it, it comes up again. But something that I was thinking of saying with the number 11 is that this guide could be helping you right now with confidence and believing in yourself. With that number 1, that's a very like strong number. It's related to the self. And that made me think like they're here to help you build yourself up and really believe in yourself and stand up for yourself. This could be someone who is helping you work on establishing healthy boundaries. And with these 2 witches in the circle, this guide might be watching over like one of your loved ones as well. Like if this was a deceased loved one, for example, like they could be watching over like you and your sibling or something of that nature, or like you and your child. But I feel like they're helping you, even with this roaring lion, like they're helping you to be assertive and speak up for yourself. And so if this is something you're working on right now, like maybe you're working on not taking on too much, you're learning how to not accept burdens that aren't yours, learning how to say no, learning how to speak up when something feels wrong, and also learning how to speak up when something feels right and like actively pouncing on opportunities. I think they're just helping you to be more assertive and use your voice more. Woo. And yeah, I don't know, there's just this like, the other decks were not behaving this way, but like this deck, it's the cards are like, should I come out? And then they don't. Should I come out? And then they don't. So I really feel like they're still perfecting the best way to get your attention or the best way to talk to you. Okay, and then, ooh, we have money spell. So money is coming into your life as well. And rabbits in general, this represents a period of fertility. You know, rabbits, they like reproduce really quickly. And also makes me think things are speeding up in your life. And this is like the pentacle. It's making me think specifically of the Ace of Pentacles, like new career opportunities, new opportunities to make money. So this protection, it's very much like personal protection, emotional and spiritual protection. But I feel like they're also making sure that you're taking care of financially and that you feel secure in that sense. I do actually feel called to bring out my trusty spirit animal book, and I want to look what it says for lions as well as rabbits and just see if there's any, well, of course there's messages, but let's see what the messages are. Hold your head up high and keep your dignity no matter what you're faced with. You're much stronger than you think you are and need to use your emotional strength in this situation. Listen closely and discern carefully before acting rather than moving ahead impulsively and recklessly. Ooh, so on your pursuit for job opportunities or on your pursuit for abundance, for success, for moving up, I feel like a message for you guys is really, I know it's very exciting when you get an offer, but take your time and really study the offer front to back. Make sure you understand all of the implications of it. Make sure that you understand the fine print, because the message here is like no amount of money or no amount of promises of money is worth like losing your work-life balance or being exploited or losing your peace of mind. I'm thinking of like, yeah, it's like not all offers are good offers or not all offers are worth it. I just saw one of my friends posted this on their story. I think it was like a TikTok that ended up on Instagram. And basically the gist of it was, I think an HR person, I don't know how companies work, but an HR person was trying to get an employee to accept a promotion or like to work towards a promotion. And they're like, you know what, actually, I don't really want a promotion. Like I'm pretty comfortable in my position. I feel confident in it. And I don't really feel like being burnt out. And I don't really feel like overworking myself. And they're like, well, don't you want to move up in the company? And the employee's like, not really. So I mean, moving up is amazing. And if that's something you guys are aiming for, then you definitely have support. But I think that there's a message here to be very discerning and understand that sometimes, like, just because you're making a bit more money or because you're moving up, it's not worth burning yourself out, or just make sure that you're not being exploited or that you're taking on too much. Because we want you to be comfortable. We want you to enjoy your work-life balance. And definitely don't take an offer just because you're afraid there's not going to be a better one. Because the best offer, you will not have to compromise those things. And when you're wishing for abundance, it's like, make sure you consider all of the aspects. Like, I want to have an abundance of peace. I want an abundance of vitality and energy. Like, I don't want to, it's like not to become a slave to money or just the idea of moving up and progressing. We really want you to have like a good, peaceful, well-rounded lifestyle. So never feel like you have to like accept an offer because like, oh, I need the money or I need to prove that I can move up or something like that. Make sure that it really works for you in all areas of your life. And if you're comfortable in your current position, if you're comfortable with your current income, like don't let anyone pressure you or bully you or whatever into moving up. Like, don't you want to keep progressing? Don't you want to keep expanding? Like, not everyone is about that life. Like, if you just want to live comfortably and peacefully, that is completely valid as well. You know, do what makes you happy. And I know that's such a simple thing to say, but I feel like sometimes we forget and we let pressures get to our head. And this guide will not have that. Is there anything else? Okay, let's look at the rabbit. Okay, oh my gosh, for a second I thought, oh my gosh, look at this quail. I didn't know that's what quails look like. It's so funny. Okay, this is a very creative time for you. So it's important to quickly take advantage of any opportunity that's like an opposite message. Never mind that. Be extra vigilant for the next couple of days. And if anything threatening shows up, leave as quickly as possible. Try a vegetarian diet for the next few days and pay attention to how you feel. Rather than steady step-by-step progress, you'll see it happen in leaps and bounds. You're going to find yourself experiencing a period of quiet and stillness, followed by a burst of intense activity. Express your love freely and readily to those you're closest to. Okay, So let's break down this message. I just want to say, like, if you feel called to try a vegetarian diet, this could definitely be your sign to do that. But I could also translate this more broadly to, like, try, if you have a suspicion that something is making you feel bad, whether it's meat, whether it's caffeine, whether it's sugar, whatever it might be, maybe just try it out for a few days and see how you feel. So I would basically expand this to any type of like dietary change. And then with this, like, take advantage of opportunities that come out of the blue, that kind of seems like a contradicting message to the one before. But then I see, like, you'll have a period of quiet and stillness followed by a burst of intense activity. This could be indicating when something is really right for you, like, it will be this burst of passion that you're not able to ignore. And there was a message like this in another group. I forget which one it was, but like, if you have to convince yourself to accept an offer, it may not be the best offer for you. Like, if you have to talk yourself into it, versus I feel like the energy here is like, it immediately clicks, it immediately makes sense, you feel inspired about it. Those are the types of offers to go for. And just be aware, there could be unexpected opportunities coming out of the blue. So, you know, even if you find yourself in a place where you're like, this offer isn't 100% what I want, but like there's no other offers available. Just because there's none now, it doesn't mean that offers can't literally appear out of the blue. And you never know. You could get an offer from like an amazing, an amazing job that you wanted that rejected you before, or, you know, I have this feeling of someone coming back and being like, are you still available? So you just never know. And you never know what the universe and what our guides have up their sleeves. But I guess at the end of the day, they really just want you to feel good and be comfortable. I'm noticing, like, you have 8, 9, if you reduce this, 8, 9, 10, 11. Or 11, 10, 9, 8. It could be a countdown. But it's interesting that the numbers go, like, one after the other. Okay, so let's take a look at the tarot deck now, and we're going to get some cards to clarify these. This is the Lucid Dreams Tarot, and I am going to be taking reversals for this deck because the keywords, there's different keywords, like, depending on the orientation that the card comes out. And I want to really make the most of that feature. What else does group number 4 need to know? Oh, I'm so used to flipping them over, but no. Oh, and this is even upright. The Hanged Man in the upright position. Pause, surrender, letting go, waiting, new perspectives, wisdom, self-sacrifice, uncertainty, and contemplation. To clarify the third eye card, we have the Two of Swords. Difficult decisions, weighing up options, doubt and inner conflict, avoidance, hidden information, confusion, in between, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. To clarify the protection card, we have the Page of Pentacles. Manifestation, grounded, ambitious, offering a gift, goal-orientated, financial opportunity. So we have that message again. Planner, consistent, loyal, faithful, and messenger. Woo! And let's take both of those. To clarify, money spell. Ooh, look at this. We have the Devil in reverse and the Lovers in the upright. Recovery, leaving abusive or toxic situation. Detachment, freedom, facing shadows, independence, reclaiming power and release. And then we have divine love, deep soul connection, choice, harmony, relationships, value alignment, unions, balance, unity, and romance. Oh my goodness. Okay, so in terms of zodiac signs that are present here, we have Pisces with the Hanged Man, we have Capricorn with the Devil, and Gemini with the Lovers, in case that is relevant to you guys. And then this could also be, in addition to Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo with the Page of Pentacles, and then the Two of Swords is the Moon in Libra. And I guess we already had Piscean energy here with Neptune, and the Moon could be Cancer also. And then also Leo with the lion. So there's a lot going on here. Sorry, I named like all of the zodiac signs. But anyway, I kind of want to start. Oh, okay. This is so interesting. So the Two of Swords talks about indecision, or kind of being stuck between, being stuck between A or B. And I think it's really interesting that this person has a blindfold, and it just matches, like this matches so well with how I would very often interpret this card, because for me the crescent moon in the background is like your intuition. And so when we're stuck in this duality, when we're stuck in this indecisiveness, it's like we can't make this decision through analysis. We can't make this decision through weighing the pros and cons. We have to feel our way through it. We have to do what feels right. We have to follow our intuition. And in fact, I often feel with the Two of Swords, like the more you analyze it, the more you're going to confuse yourself. So if there's any decisions that you guys are faced with, especially like one with two options, like a this or that, yes or no, stay or go type of thing, or like, is this the truth or is that the truth? The more you analyze it, the more you'll get confused. So like if you try to look outward for proof that A is true, then you'll find a lot of evidence. And then if you look for proof that B is true, you'll find a lot of evidence for that too. Or like if you're trying to look, should I go with A or B, you'll find pros and cons about both, and you'll just get more and more confused. And the Two of Swords says like, the only way to make this decision is with your intuition. It's through closing your physical eyes and using your third eye. And this is where the Hanged Man comes in, and it's really interesting. So the way that the Two of Swords is a 2 card, the Hanged Man is a 3 card, because it's the number 12, which reduces to 3. And in the numerological sense, 2 of course represents a duality, a this and that. But the number 3 comes in and represents a third option, where what if it's both? And it provides, it's not black or white, it's gray. So the Hanged Man comes in to offer a new perspective. And it's so interesting because I feel like a lot of things are like this, where if you look at it with your, I guess with your logical mind or with your physical eyes, you will think it's either this or that. The truth is either black or white. But if you look with your third eye, you realize, no, it's both. This and that are true, because at the end of the day, black and white are two sides of the same coin. I feel like there's a lot of things in this earth, especially like beliefs, where like the two opposite extreme ends of the belief are really just like two sides of the same coin, or like two people could have vastly different truths and different experiences, and they're both true. And I feel like with this clarifying the guardian angel, this guide might be here also to help you open your third eye and to recognize more, I guess, the gray areas of life, and the idea that two seemingly contradicting ideas can be true at once. And I feel like that's very much Piscean energy too. Like, it's not concrete, it's an abstract idea, it's flexible, it's flowing. It's like we're gonna stop seeing the world in black and white and embrace the shades of gray, and understand like my truth is true for me and your truth is true for you, and they can both coexist. Your mind is being open to that sort of thing. And I also think simultaneously this is an interpretation of like, you're learning how to establish your boundaries by feeling your way through it, because there's no rule book of where your boundaries should be. There's no rule book of like, you know, how much should I give of myself? When should I give my energy and help others? And when should I take care of myself? It's not like, oh, you should give 60% of your energy to others and then you should keep 40% for yourself. And also this changes from day to day. Like some days you'll want to give more of yourself and others you won't. And there's no like set rules for this. It's just something that you learn through trial and error, and you feel your way through it, and you'll get to know it as you go. But if you sit there and try to like rationally analyze it, like, well, I did say, you know, I did take care of myself for 2 days, you know, I took 2 days of self-care, so I can say yes to this person. It's not something that you rationalize like that. If you don't feel ready to give of your energy, you say no again, because it's not like a logical formula. Or, I don't know. It's kind of an abstract concept, but there was something else that I wanted to say, and I'm hoping that it hasn't gone away yet. Oh yes, that, you know, the idea of your truth and my truth can coexist at the same time. And like, I feel like that's something that's not going to make you uncomfortable anymore. So let's say in the process of you establishing your boundaries in a way that feels better to you, someone has a negative reaction to it, or someone doesn't get it. Like, it's not your job to make them okay with your boundaries. They're allowed to be mad at your boundaries. That's their right. But that doesn't negate the fact that you're allowed to have that boundary. And if they're upset about it, it is their problem. Like, it sounds harsh, but it is. So if someone like has a problem with your new boundaries and they want to think XYZ about you, that's their truth. And so you have your truth. It's like, I need to look out for myself, and they have their truth, and that's whatever. Like, we don't have to make everything either black or everything either white. And I think you're just becoming comfortable with like, I'm going to live my truth and everyone else can believe what they believe, and that's their business and it's not my problem. And that's something that's very, very freeing. And even like, I feel like as you develop your boundaries more strongly, you might turn down offers or like live a life that people don't understand. Like that TikTok of like the person being, but don't you want a promotion? Don't you want to move up in the company? Because that's what we're programmed to think that we should want. Like, and so if someone doesn't understand that, they might, I don't know, they might say like, oh, group 4 is weird, or like group 4 needs to get their priorities straight. And like, that's allowed to be their truth. Like, whatever, they see things differently. But the important thing is that you're doing what's right for you, and you understand the motivations behind your actions. And the motivation is to keep you living a peaceful life. So you're on the right track. And then we have protection clarified by the Page of Pentacles. I really like the message of consistent, loyal, and faithful. This means that the spirit guide coming through today is going to be here, has always been here to protect you, and is going to be here for a very long time. And I don't know, I'm getting the feeling for some of you this is a child, because I don't know, I felt that in the beginning why did I feel that in the beginning? Because they had a shy energy, and then pages can represent children as well. And these two people, well, they just, I guess they look similar in that they have long, dark, wavy, and curly hair. I think these people have long, dark hair as well. That could be a trait of this guide. But, oh, they also want you to know that the seeds that you have planted for your manifestations, like, they're set, they're protected. Nothing could stop your manifestations from coming to fruition now, because the seed has like germinated, and they're not going to let anything or anyone come and dig it up unless you don't want it anymore. But like no opposing force or nothing could interfere with the things that you have already planted. So if you haven't done intention setting yet, or if you haven't done it recently, this would be a really good time to do it, knowing that this spirit guide will look after the seeds that you've planted, will protect them, will water them for you, make sure that nothing gets to it, that no pesky rabbits get to it, and it will safely materialize into the world. But yeah, this is a sign of like good news coming in career, in finances, in schooling as well. Any new projects that you're starting, anything related to business, anything related to your hobbies and interests, and developing those more. This is a really, really great card. I love the gold detailing on this deck too. It's really beautiful. This is a really beautiful deck. Now, let's talk about this Devil and the Lovers together. I think it's so freaking cool that these cards came out together, because I kind of feel like the Devil is like the shadow of the Lovers card, because they're both number 6 cards. And this is like a beautiful, unconditional love that is free of attachments. And the Devil, it's like codependence, it's attachment, it's control. And these types of energies can very often disguise themselves as love. Like on the surface, it looks like someone loves you, but they're just possessive of you, or they're just wanting to control you, or they only love you if you act exactly how you want them to, if they have you in these chains like the Devil. And so I feel like it's so interesting that these came out together, and that the Devil is in reverse, because it's like, it looks like this is the energy that we're moving out of, you know, like we're no longer going to accept conditional love or controlling relationships or codependency, and we're welcoming real love into our lives, divine love. We're accepting harmony, we're accepting deep soul connections. This is a beautiful message for those of you who are manifesting a soulmate relationship, who are manifesting friendships into your life, or a spiritual community into your life. I feel like this is definitely a sign of soul connections coming in. I'm not sure if this is the clarifier for money spell. I think it's just a message on its own. But with the Devil in reverse, maybe some of you guys are like recovering from an obsession with money, or you're breaking free from the chains of capitalism. Like you're not going to exploit yourself anymore, or allow yourself to be exploited anymore. Maybe you're leaving a toxic workplace, and this is like the promise to you that everything's going to be okay. And you'll find something else that is much healthier for you, because the Lovers, I think, can also talk about, you know, healthy relationships could also be like a healthy relationship with money, a healthy relationship with work, where it's not something that you're constantly doing to move up or to prove your worth or to be stuck in a hamster wheel. It's like, you know, that like I don't dream of labor movement, and you know, there's stuff to say about that movement, like anything, but there is truth in there of like, you know, sometimes we tend to overly romanticize the hustle and chasing money, and that's really, it's just one part of life, and money is just one tool to bring happiness and security, and there's so many other things. So maybe you guys are like repairing your relationship surrounding money and wealth, and sort of redefining your worth, and like saying no to opportunities, even though on the surface it looks like they're going to make your life better because it's more money, but it could be the stress is not worth it, the burnout is not worth it, it's not in alignment with your values, or this job does not treat me like a human being, and I'm not going to give up my humanity and my dignity for some money. Like you're not going to sell out, and you're only accepting the best. So I'm going to leave this like, no, let's keep the Lovers card with the Devil in reverse. Okay, so we're gonna look at, actually I'm gonna drink some water. Ooh, it's still light out, but you can see the moon, and it's almost a full moon right now. It's so pretty. Okay, so okay. Oracle cards, yay! So we're gonna look at some more Oracle cards, and then I'm actually gonna shuffle 2 more decks after this before finishing off the reading. So, ooh, look at this. To start off, we have Jupiter return with benefits. And I want to point out that the number 49 reduces to 4. So again, there's that feeling of these benefits, these blessings, they're secured. They're protected. That's the number 4. It's stability, it's protection. I'm burping. This is an important message. Nothing can stop your blessings. Like literally nothing. They are on their way to you, and there's no slowing down. don't stop them now because they're having a good time. And then we have Jupiter again. Oh my God. Oh, some of you guys could be going through a Jupiter return soon, which actually one of the Jupiter returns happens at the age of 36. And also at the age of 12, although I don't think that there are 12-year-olds watching. I don't think so. It happens like at 12, 24, 36, 48, maybe 49. Wow, that's crazy that we have 2 Jupiter cards. Benefits and abundance. And the number 7, it makes me think of like lucky number 7. The number 7 also makes me think of like happy times are ahead. It makes me think of miracles as well. And everything just, I feel like everything is just going to turn out perfectly. You guys are definitely on the right path. The numbers 4 and 7 together make me think of someone who's on the right path. And I think that you're really coming to understand like what is and isn't in alignment with your highest good. And not only that, but have the courage to assert that. And then lightning, wasn't there a message about like unexpected? Yes, in the rabbit card, there was a message about unexpected opportunities. And lightning makes me think of something that is like sudden, unpredictable, unexpected, shocking. So yeah, unexpected big blessings, unexpected money coming your way, unexpected opportunities. Could be an opportunity to travel, because Jupiter makes me think of like Sag energy, which then makes me think of travel. So unexpected trips as well. Ooh, we have pleasure, enjoyment, beauty, sensuality, and indulgence. We need to have a good balance in our life of work and rest, work and play, work and pleasure. And there's a message for you to focus more on the pleasure side of life, to just relax and just enjoy the luxuries of life and enjoy your 5 senses. This is your sign right now. Well, maybe not exactly right now, but if you can, to do something that is most pleasing to your senses. So maybe that is eating your favorite food. Maybe that's listening to your favorite music. Maybe that's looking at pictures of Taehyung. Maybe that's getting a massage. Something that will please and stimulate your senses. It's important to work that into your schedule. Well, maybe you will, but make that an important part of your routine. The same way you would schedule like, I'm gonna work now, I'm gonna exercise now, I'm gonna do my morning routine now. Make sure that you prioritize time for your own pleasure. This could also be a message of a fulfilling sex life coming to you, or like a sexual partner coming to you if you are a sexual person and that's something that you enjoy. This is a card that is related to the sacral chakra. So this is an energy that relates to sexuality or sensuality and intimacy. But if you're not a sexual person, then this can relate to creativity and enjoying like creative pursuits, or maybe enjoying art is the way that you please your senses. So let's take a look at the next oracle cards. Ooh, we have 36, and that's another number of Jupiter return. Temple of Light, you are worthy. See the truth of who you truly are, a being of pure love and light. We also have self-awareness, and it has the number 6 on it. So I feel like this kind of, this goes with the Devil in reverse and the Lovers. Let go of your egoic attachments. That's exactly what the Devil in reverse is. Let go of your egoic attachments. I feel like you're letting go of finding satisfaction from external material things. And you're finding true fulfillment in spirit and in unconditional love. Wow. Let go of your egoic attachments. Your evolution comes with release. And then there's another pyramid. I don't know, this could be a significant symbol for you guys. Beacon of light. Create a container for your energy so you remain in your own frequency. Like this, make your protection circle. Stay in your strong sense of self. Yes, absolutely. This looks like selenite, like a selenite tower. I have one in Canada. I might have given it to my sister. I don't remember. But I have a smaller selenite somewhere. Well, I have this. I really like selenite. Selenite is one of the few stones that when I touch it, I like physically feel something. I'm like, woo, I feel energized. I feel crisp. I feel clear. I really, really like selenite's energy. Okay, so, oh my gosh, and it's talking about, why did I read that as beacon of truth? It literally says beacon of light. Well, anyway, live your truth. So, there's a couple more oracle decks that I want to use to finish off this reading. We're going to start with the fallback oracle deck. Wow, I have a really big eye floater in my eye right now. And I'm just thinking of this guide. This guide is kind of like an eye floater. It's like, they're kind of subtle, and then like, if you try to look at them, it's like their energy is elusive for some reason. I don't know what that's about. They just have a shy and subtle energy about them. Or they could be just like, I'm getting that childlike energy. They could be a younger soul or a younger guide. And their attempts of like creating signs or sending signals, they're still figuring it out. But if you're struggling to communicate with your guides, I feel like it's definitely not just a you thing. But it will get stronger over time. And I also want to mention, I don't think that doesn't affect their ability to help you or to protect you. It's just like when it comes to communicating, it's a more subtle energy. Okay, so we have observe. How are you feeling? Sit with it without labels or judgment. Practice just observing yourself and others. Not everything needs your reaction. I was just talking about this today, how I feel like knowing this truth, not everything needs your reaction, is a really important part of having boundaries. Like, boundaries is not just saying like, yes, I will give of my energy. No, I won't give of my energy. Boundaries is also like being able to look at what someone else is doing over there and how they're living their life and saying like, oh, I don't need to react to that. I don't need to have an opinion on that. Like, that's not my yard. I'm just going to stay over here in my yard and do my own thing. And, you know, going into that person's yard and being like, hey, I think this about what you're doing, or I don't like that. That's poor boundaries, because you're concerning yourself with something that is not in your circle. Okay, and then we have accept. It is what it is. Healing occurs naturally with acceptance. Make peace with what is. The only way out is through. And then we have, I am abundant, I attract everything I need. Yes, what a beautiful message. Okay, next we're gonna use the tea leaf fortune cards. Ooh. We have family sorrow. Yeah, so this could be like a family member, a deceased loved one. Or maybe some of you guys, like this breaking free from conditions, breaking free from attachments. Maybe some of you guys had to free yourself from that fear of like disappointing your family or going against your family's expectations. So you could be breaking that cycle, breaking a generational cycle. We have man, dealings or relationship with a man. So this guide could be a man. This man also has long dark hair, which we saw previously in these images. Or maybe you'll have a divine love relationship with a man. I'm just hearing like lesbians have left the chat. I feel you. Okay, so now we have bird perched, waiting for news, package, or a letter. And at the bottom of the deck, getting out of a situation. I feel like you guys might be like getting some news that is freeing you from a toxic situation, or freeing you from a situation that was stressing you out, burning you out. Your responsibilities are going to be lightened at this time. And you're going to be living an easier life. Because I think a lot of the responsibilities, well, not a lot, but there could be some responsibilities that you guys carry that you took on in the first place as a result of poor boundaries, or because you had some skewed ideas of what you wanted. For example, taking on a lot of work responsibilities because you're like, promotion good, raise good, money good, but like you are sacrificing your mental health, or taking on burdens because you care about that person, you want to help take care of them, but it's becoming to be too much. So something is coming to free you from this situation, I think. So group number 4s, these are all the messages I have for you, so I'm gonna end your reading here. Oh my gosh, and I just looked up and saw 4444. You guys are definitely protected. Let me show you guys the moon. She's really pretty. Okay, that is as much as I can zoom in on her. It's a little underwhelming, but enjoy her. Anyway, what was I saying? Thank you so much for letting me do this reading for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel like doing that. And you can also follow me on Instagram, where I post weekly pick a card readings as well as new moon and full moon readings. And I also have a music channel. The song that you guys heard at the very start of this video was an original song, so if you're interested in listening to the full version of that song or any of my other ones, the music channel will be linked down below for you as well. Group number 4s, I'm sending so much love to you, to your spiritual team, to your lovely spirit guide who appeared in this reading. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you to your guide for facilitating this reading, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!